It's DJ Daniel, you dig? You're tuned in to KOOL Radio, your #1 station for the truth about what's happening in the way out wasteland. But enough of my spouting. Let's warm up with some new hot licks.
Hello. We did it. Are we here? Can we hear everybody? Y'all test sound. Y'all know I'm so bad at
Testing.
sound.
Hello,
buddy, all at once.
So healthy for our ears.
Headphone users.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. Hi, everybody. Welcome to a Saturday here on PodbyNight, where we're gonna do a little something different by playing some Fallout. Specifically, Fallout: Winter of Adam. I'm not. You know every face on the screen. Hopefully, if you come and join us regularly on Saturdays, we thought it might be fun to mesh some regular faces with some old faces, and here we are playing some fucking Fallout. And we're giving Mathas a break. He's here to give me a hard
nice it
time.
is to not have to bring the episode in. Actually, like that was just like it's a vibe, bro. I don't have to do shit. Like I said hello, like reactively. Like, not me. I don't have to do anything.
So I guess I'm doing everything.
The week when you were
today.
gone, Dot, Mathas was like, he started, it was frantic, and then he's like, I need a deep breath. Hold on.
Yeah, hang on a second.
Anytime you have to run tech and everything, it's always kind of crazy. But we are here. We're going to be doing playing a little Fallout, but doing things very similar to what you usually expect. You can still tip. There is no Saito in Fallout, but I still have plans for great corruption.
God,
so
that would be...
feel free to donate, and
Saito just shows up.
Turn it into the grant meter. I'll fuck everything up.
The grant bar.
The grant bar. So we'll have something. So if you do donate, don't fret. We will make sure it goes to good use. And if I don't use it, I can promise you, it will filter over after into next week, and then potentially the week after, which means they will convert back to Saito bars. So don't fret. It all goes to a great place, because that's what helps pay the lovely faces you see on the screen here. And if you listen to our podcast and you support the Patreon, we want to say a big fat thank you for that, because we can't do it without you. And join our Patreon, because we got a lot of cool stuff going on. Bub is over there with Josh running some really cool things for our $10 and $25 tier right now in our kind of community chat play. Role play, and all. I'll tell you again, support us on Patreon. Support us by tipping us here and making things more difficult for everybody on this screen, except for me, of course. Yeah. And other than that, I will say, for those of you that don't know anything about Fallout, that is A-okay. I will be providing you all the information that you need to be able to follow along with the story, regardless of your knowledge of Fallout. If you have a deep love of Fallout, guess what? Me too.
You're in good company.
Me too. You're in very good company, and I promise you I'm going to give you those juicy bits of lore that you're looking for.
Between this week and next, we get to watch Fallout. I hope it's
You get to watch Fallout. That's right. So make sure to check out the show.
It comes out on Thursday, I think, and you can watch it on Amazon.
Yep.
We're not sponsored by them, but hey.
Thursday?
We are not, but they could if they want to. I will say Modiphius puts out this RPG. You can go get the core rulebook. We are going to be running Fallout Winter of Adam, which is a campaign that I actually wrote on, which is why we're kind of doing this, which is very exciting. And there's some extra things that you're going to see that are not in the core book that come specifically out of the Winter of Adam, which is a 3-act campaign that takes place inside of the Commonwealth, but we're not going to get to see all of that. We're going to get just a nibble, a taste of what this world has to offer. So I guess without further ado, did I forget anything? Anything I should shout out?
No, if you guys like this and it's something you guys want to see more of, then you may see more of it sometime after SOS Season 3 comes to a close.
Yeah, you may have to let us know.
And join the Discord.
Please do.
Yeah,
And join our
join
Discord.
the Discord. Thank you, Tracy. Got my back.
And this is what I do every time too. Don't worry. So they go, what else?
I got
do
it
we
all.
I think
chill?
VODs for this one will be on PodbyNight.
Correct.
Oh, the VODs.
Yes,
Oh, good
that's
call.
a very
Yeah,
good
yeah,
Just
call.
so
Yep.
people are aware as well.
Yep, the VODs will be over on our
Just because there's
PodbyNight
two
YouTube,
Roll
so-
4 people here, they might get confused.
It's true. It's true. We're only here to make things more difficult for you, everybody. No, but again, you can if you're a subscriber, you're going to get it right away, anyways. But we will get it over to the PodbyNight YouTube as well. I guess without further ado, we're going to jump right in here. So I'm going to give you all a start of where we are, why we are, and how we are. War. War never changes. The United States of America died generations ago when the Great War ended civilization as we knew it. The atomic bombs fell, and radioactive dust settled over sprawling ruins, and the world fell quiet over the bones of all we lost. And it only took 2 hours. That was 210 years ago. But life did not end there. America became the dominion of mutated beasts, terrifying monsters, weird irradiated plants, robots wandering free from their creators, and surprising new forms of humanity. And the people who survived that nuclear apocalypse did what folks have done for thousands of years. They adapted, and they survived. They salvaged, rebuilt, and reclaimed what they could of the old world. And over the years, pockets of civilization began to take hold in this wild wasteland across America, fighting with each other for control of what little they had left. There are many stories of humanity's attempts to cling to life and build a new future amongst the ashes. Or maybe I should say snow. Because this story starts in the ruins of old Boston, now known as the Commonwealth, as it has succumbed to a long, deadly winter storm. Hungry communities do their best to find food and survive the cold, but it is no longer enough. Atomic winter tightens its grip on the Commonwealth. Crops fail, supply lines falter. Residents of the settlements that ring the outskirts of Old Boston flood into the city, now refugees seeking the relative safety and security of the Commonwealth's great green jewel, Diamond City. And in the darkness, we hear the sound and scuttering of large insect legs on cold wood. As a door kicks open, spilling in frozen light from outside, and their massive, oversized bodies scutter for shadow and darkness. And in silhouette stands a man. Jacket, gun. And as a shot is fired, light from the end of the barrel lights up his face, and we see Mortimer. As he steps in. Oh yeah, yeah. I was going to say, tell us what Mortimer looks like standing there.
He is clad head to toe in several thick layers of clothing to shield him against the winter, but you can see a weather-beaten face, partially covered by a sort of a whatever you would call it, like a mask scarf thing, which he pulls down
like a
as he
bandana almost.
steps inside. Breathing some slightly less frozen air.
Yeah, and his breath, of course, is first. And as that shot fires off and we see him step into the space, the camera cuts away. And as it does, it follows the footsteps of Mortimer back through dense snow. Outside, the wind is blowing, and the howling is almost too much for even human ears to bear. And those footprints go all the way back to a group of people. About 15 total. All standing there in the frozen wasteland on the outskirts of the Commonwealth. The only really dense piece of light is coming from a hovering metal object who has fire out of his lower sphere. His sphere-like body. And we see Mason lighting up the area as this caravan seems to be waiting for the return of Mortimer. And tell us about Mason.
Mason is a traditional Mr. Handy, as designed by General Atomics International pre-Great War. probably a Robco production, right? An industry's product. But he was refitted, redesigned, not to functionally assist an overseer. This was a model that was designed with other intentions, but was reformatted to fit as a personal care unit. Mason is, and, well, was, a professional barber. So he's no longer outfitted with the traditional war mechanics, the things that you would see hanging from his arms. But now he has scissors and clippers and attachments, probably a foil shaver, and his flamer hand is probably tuned down to just singe hair as opposed to scorch flesh. But he floats on with his newsy cap and his handlebar mustache.
And because you float a little higher than the average person, you can see just over the hill past those footprints. The shots of gunfire have gone off. It seems that Mortimer may have found dinner. And speaking of dinner, I guess standing next to you is the ghoul of the group. Tell us a little bit about Grant.
You see a somewhat shorter, portly individual, say about 5'5", completely no hair save for two rather overgrown strands that dangle over the top of his head. And what wasn't wasted away by radiation would have likely been aged by the sun with what wrinkles you might be able to see on what flesh remains. And you see an apron half folded down, worn by age with holes from moths and burn marks and gunshots, and jeans that, well, what's left of them cover just the necessary bits, as he stands there with flip-flops on. And you hear a dink as he takes his roller pin and hits Mr. Handy. He's like, I'm telling you, if you just let me replace that thing down there, it'll be a big-ass flame and you'll be a great security guard.
But how would I assist regular wastelanders, Grant?
He pats you on the head by protecting him. Gotta get the food, come on. And he just starts
Protection is
walking.
not my skill. That is best left to survivors of the wasteland. We look onward to Mortimer. This is his
You
skill
talk
set.
so much. And he just, Grant walks by and goes for, as you said, dinner maybe nearby.
As Grant walks past to see if Mortimer has actually captured anything to cook, I imagine there's one particular figure that almost gives Grant a large berth of space. Kalita. Not dressed like any of the other scavengers in this group. In fact, you wear a blue jumpsuit.
Yeah, I think, are we indoors or outdoors
You
right
are
now?
outdoors. Y'all are basically standing just on the outside of this building that he's going in. Safety reasons, right? Gotta have somebody scout it out, and that's what he's getting paid for. So y'all are just outside of it and can kind of see he's stepped in, but you are outside in the wilderness.
Yeah, I think then you might notice that like she is wearing a jumpsuit, but it might not be as obvious because she's got like this huge heavy coat on, and like a gas mask that's like dangling from her. She's probably not wearing it like on her face right now. And she has a very like welcoming, just a nice warm face. But I think as Grant passes by, she gives them as much room as possible and almost looks like she's avoiding them. And a little kind of concerned. And she kind of grabs at her stomach where if she wasn't wearing the coat, you might notice that she is pregnant. And next to her is a like German Shepherd, a dog who is diligently kind of like looking around, and his ears are perked up and kind of shifting.
I imagine with the density of the snow as he stands in the snow, his tail's just on top, like kind of like in excitement, kind of wafting it back and forth a little bit and dusting it. But yeah, he's a very happy, healthy pup. And I imagine not too far by is Sister Delilah. Again, not dressed like anybody else in this caravan, very clearly an outsider.
You see a woman. She is frail and has like whitish hair, graying hair. But when you look at her face, she looks young, like somebody who could be in their 20s or 30s, but they're aged and weathered to maybe even look like they're in their 50s or 60s. You see some signs of aging on the face, but still a bit of that youthful face, as if something has kind of aged her much beyond her actual age and years. She has darker circles under her eyes, and wears a jacket that has an embroidery of a symbol that looks kind of Adam-esque. And she's looking through a small notebook that she has with a paper in it. And she kind of looks at the paper and then quickly closes her notebook and looks up at the rest of her crew.
As you look up, and Grant has kind of run forward to check Mortimer's status. Mortimer does, in fact, emerge carrying 2 rad roaches, dead, of course, and he's done a pretty decent job in terms of not destroying the meatiest parts.
Most succulent bits.
Yeah, the more succulent bits of these 2 rad roaches. And I imagine this is probably the most food you all have seen in a few days. Hunting is pointless. Nothing lives, no plants. And in fact, for those of you that have been traveling the longest, so Sister Delilah and Mortimer, you have lost some of this caravan. In fact, I'm going to have you roll to actually see how lucky the group has been. So you can make, I believe,
how many people have you let die? No, I'm just kidding.
how many people basically have not made it, which is, in this kind of weather and as far as you have come, is a very high potential. I believe you can just make a luck check, which is a D20, if I remember correctly, just a flat D20.
You can click luck.
You should just be able to click luck, I think.
May not.
May not. If not, just you can roll a D20. Remember the custom roll I taught you at the top of the sheet? You can choose just one D20 for that. But it may make you put in stats, so.
1 D20 luck, and then I'll put in something that's a 0.
Perfect. Exactly. That works out great.
I think you can also just select none.
Okay. You
No
didn't
successes?
get any successes. Your target was 5. You rolled a 14. The difference is 9. That is how many people are left. You have lost in the group, in the original 13. We're down to 9 of them. So you can do the math there. 4 people have not made it, and most of it has been starvation. They freeze in the middle of the night, and their body, they do not wake in the morning. The ground is too cold, and they simply become a human popsicle. And yeah, you're down now to 9 of them. And bringing food back, you can see a look of relief on the rest of the group's face, that there might actually be a hot meal. But the wind has picked up, and Mortimer, there's no way you're going to be able to continue traveling through the evening. Though you're very close to Diamond City, you're going to have to wait till the storm passes.
As I approach holding these roaches, I'm like, it's a lucky day. And I offer them to Grant and say, make them last.
Grant's rubs his hands together and reaches out and he grabs them and he turns to Mason. He's like, remember what I taught you? Legs first. And he plops them right down in front of you.
Of course. How could I forget?
Oh.
Does Mason go in and just start cutting the legs off? Excellent. Yeah, you see Grant. He doesn't really have anything. Oh, do I have anything sharp on me? I have a rolling pin and I have a gun.
A gun. There would be a knife within the group. I'm assured that you could use. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as somebody has a knife I can just borrow.
I do have a switchblade.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would donate my switchblade to you.
Around, I'm like,
I would offer
I broke mine last time.
There's also people in the caravan who have basic things, because remember, they're moving. These are refugees at this point, who are trying to come. They're seeking help, so they would have taken anything they could carry. There would be a knife for you to use, for sure.
So you see me you see Grant wedge the knife between the exoskeleton and where the head is, and with a sickening crack and some spillage, the head, the carapace kind of opens up and you see him just take the head off, and then he pulls open the carapace and gooey nastiness spills out that Grant is grumbling in excitement to himself about. And you probably, how is Mace, does he have a buzzsaw still, or does he have a trimmer? You said, does he try and trim off the legs? How is he taking
he
the legs
off? He has a buzzsaw. There is still a buzzsaw. He's got a buzzsaw arm, but that's probably what he uses to kind of get through the thickness of it.
Yeah. So Grant loses himself in the prep work of taking apart these rad roaches that he's clearly had some experience doing over years.
one of the things we're going to need is a campsite. And there are actual campsite rules in Fallout for how to set one up, specifically in this wasted winter wasteland. So while they're prepping dinner, and you can hear this buzzsaw like taking off like the fur or whatever hair is on the outside and prepping this thing, the rest of the people are trying desperately to set up some kind of shelter. Now, I will say that was the only thing, Mortimer, in that building. It's a shanty shack in essence. It probably was like a roadside building at one point, but you could potentially, if you wanted to, put everybody in there for the night to make camping a smidge easier, or you can attempt to actually set up camp in here on the road.
I imagine it'd probably be a bit of both. Like, we can sleep in there. That'll give us some shelter from the wind, and enough of us in there will heat it up, and then we'll set up a fire outside.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So I'm going to say we are going to make what we call a group intelligence check. So who has the highest intelligence of the group?
I think might be me. 9.
Oh,
9. Yeah, that's you. So, yeah, that's going to be
I am the scientist here.
For sure. So I'm going to say, Kalita, you're going to kind of lead the charge. If there's one thing you know, it is how to set up settlements. Because boy, howdy, you spent most of your life fixing and dwelling in a vault. And now you've learned some tricks of the trade traveling from as far as you have, even before you met this caravan, to be able to set up a safe place to live. So you know a thing or two about it. So I am going to have you make a special test here, which is going to be a survival intelligence check, which means you'll have to custom roll it.
Custom roll. And we're doing 2d20. Intelligence, survival. One success.
Okay. Does anybody want to help her? Remember, you can do that. Roll to assist. Anybody else have a high intelligence?
Dyson does, but he's a little preoccupied.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're slicing
and dicing.
And you wouldn't come anywhere near us because you don't like me.
No. It's not that I don't like you.
You don't like ghouls.
I'm afraid of you.
I
Fair
mean,
enough.
I don't have high intelligence, but I would offer to
you
help.
You can still roll to assist. So make sure you click your token and click the roll to assist.
Does it hinder
button.
us? That's the question we have.
Only if you roll a 20. Remember, in the 2d20 system, everyone listening, 20 is bad. It's so bad because you're looking to get the smallest number possible.
Well, Tracy.
D&D. D&D.
Oh my God, you rolled a 19. So close.
Okay.
Can multiple people assist?
Absolutely. Everybody can. And it just adds to the success pool.
I will try and help then.
Okay. I mean, you do still have one success, so it's not the worst thing ever. But yes,
is it survival as well?
It is survival intelligence.
I do have good survival, so that makes up for it.
Is it like World of Darkness where like 1 success is easy, 2 is normal, 3 is like, is it like a... Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's
similar.
It's very similar. And sometimes I may call it for higher. Like I would say, this requires a 3. In this case, what you're rolling for is to see how good of a campsite you build. The good news is... I
feel like I'm starting to do stuff, and then they're just getting in the way, and I'm like, no, don't touch that.
Yeah, they keep trying to help.
Put that down.
Said,
no,
you did
don't
find
put that over there.
Structure, which makes the roll not as difficult. You really needed a 2 for safe haven. It really came down to a 1 because the building was already available to you. So you are able to set people up comfortable. You even get a warm fire going, thanks maybe to Mason's Heine, getting something burning, and some old stuff. And this building actually will suffice for the night. It's going to be cold. It's just the wind cuts through most of the wood, but at least you're not going to be walked on by a bunch of super mutants or worse. So you do manage a quaint and modest campsite for the night, enough where Grant can cook food for everybody. Those of you that have been traveling 2 weeks, that would be Sister Delilah and Mortimer. Both of you are at a state of fatigue and hunger that is going to be higher than everyone, simply because of how long you've been traveling. So if you take a look at your survival, right? Your hunger is there are bars, right, that you check to the right and left. Both of you will just go ahead and start with 2 hunger bars because you've been traveling for 2 weeks.
We got hunger in this game too.
You can't
You're
escape
gonna
it.
start with
Sorry.
2 thirst. I told y'all this is gonna look real familiar. You can go ahead and start with 2 quenched bars as well because you're thirsty for 2 weeks of travel.
He's not gonna have to like roll to kill us, right?
Right.
Where-
You
where is that?
You want me to do that?
You, because you've been
Where is that
traveling
on the sheet?
for 2 weeks under it, there'll be a tab that says survival.
Right below the skills.
Right below it says hunger, thirst, slept, and there are these like
Oh,
hash
survival.
marks.
I see.
Yep.
Injury.
Um,
Okay.
Yep. So you don't have any injuries. If you've been traveling for 1 week, in this case, we'll say the other 3 of you. So Mason, Grant, and Kalita, you can all take 1 of each. 1 hunger, 1 thirst, 1 not well rested. The other 2 of you can take 2, and this is just part of it. It's hard to sleep well when they're being paid to keep people.
So it would be the middle check for hunger, and the second one for...
Yes, correct. So it would
left
be,
This is the farther.
yeah, because
I see.
you can only get 4 thirsty before you basically begin dying of thirst, right? Hunger's a little bit more, and well rested you'd have the 2, yeah. So you're at a level 2 fatigue, which may come in handy depending on your situation, or it might not. But things are getting rough. But the good news is,
Do I get like a extra negative for being pregnant?
Oh God!
And you're,
Under myself.
you know what?
You're the kind of player like I am. I do the same thing. I'm like, actually,
You
am I
have
worse off?
traveled. You have traveled farther than everybody. I will let you take 3 if you want it. On your fatigue specifically, like your physical sleep, because I imagine you're not
Sleep,
sleeping well. At least you have a coat, though. I was gonna dock you for that, but
Oh, that's true.
you do have a coat.
That's
at
why I
least.
took that. I was like, you gave us that extra pack. I was like, well, those 2 make the most sense for me.
And as you settle down in this shanty shack on the side of the road, only really hours from Diamond City in terms of foot travel, but not in this weather. Hot rad roach meat is passed around. Is Grant a good cook?
What roll do I need to make? Is it survival?
That's a great question. I guess in this case it's
Should we make a cooking skill?
I would imagine it's like survival. Would be my
It's-
guess.
it's-
No,
it's-
because survival's endurance, right? So like I don't know
well,
if that's right.
you can technically change the call, but yes, survival's usually based on endurance. This is actually, surprisingly enough,
Dex.
I mean,
You
he's,
could argue like
he'll
medicine.
tell you
Medicine.
he's no sous chef.
Ooh, medicine might be interesting.
I would say a medicine, or I'll take a survival intelligence roll, because medicine intelligence, that's yeah.
I both have 3 ranks in both. So
Oh, perfect. Well, take the medicine
Just
one
do
then, because
medicine?
that seems more.
additional
boy.
dice, none, right? 0.
Unless you want to buy. Now this is how that
No,
works.
no, I'm not. Oh yeah, you can put more d20s in, right?
Correct. So you as a
We have
group have
6 action points?
6 action points. You get 1 for every character, including your dog meat in this case. But if you get 6, I also get 6 because I get 1 for each of you. Those action points can be spent together to buy additional d20. In this case, you can use 1 action point to buy 1 d20, 2 action points, meaning 3, to buy 2 d20, or 6 action points to buy 3.
I'm not going to use that. Just
Perfect. Then it's just a flat roll to just see how. Hey, 2 magic successes,
Dang.
and you hit the
I'll
target.
take
So it's not
it's rad roach meat,
it's
man.
rad roach meat, but it's not the worst rad roach meat. And considering the fact you were all hungry, you can all drop your bar down by 2 because of his 2 successes.
Nice. All right.
And you have actually a warm meal. And as rad roach meat is being passed around, and the 9 original people from the group now added with the 2, that making y'all 11 total. Yeah, that's my math. 11 total. The caravan, these people that came from this other small town, Mortimer, the ones that hired you, the man who is in charge, he seems to be he's the one that paid you. He's the one that collected all the money to pay you to get them safely to Diamond City. He's beginning to look very tired and ragged, and he clearly is attempting to get their spirits up, I think is the best way for me to put it. And he's chatting with some of the younger, I wouldn't say children, there's a couple teens in the group, and kind of saying, things that we're going to do when we get to Diamond City. And he's like, I've heard they have the best noodles in all of the wasteland. And the kids are like, what's a noodle?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, what's a noodle?
He says, I don't know, but I want one. They said it's made by a robot. The kids are kind of like, oh, whisper, oh, you know. They have a whole shop that just sells clothing. One of the little boys is like, why? You know, and they kind of share an almost, I wouldn't say jovial, but in a lighthearted way about the possibility of what is coming. And all 5 of you sit around the fire and kind of share in that moment with them. And he turns and he looks at Kalita. And he says, what do you most look forward to when you get to Diamond City? You've come so far.
Well, I'm looking for somebody. And I hope that I find them.
Oh, he says, who?
My husband.
I lean over to Mr. Handy. I was going to say baby daddy, baby daddy, baby daddy.
He says, oh, I have no doubt that you'll find him. He has doubts.
Not even
Well,
He has doubts.
I'm glad you don't have doubts.
I do not. Love will always find a way. He's just trying to be chipper.
I think Kalita's welcoming of that because as much as she isn't certain about the future, she's also hopeful.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the one thing that's keeping her going.
And they need that. When they found you, Kalita, even though you were in a much worse for wear state, and honestly, this caravan spent what little they had to. Oh, I'm going to spend an action point to claim something horrible in game. I'm going to say that 2 of the people that were lost along the way were lost when they attempted to rescue you.
Oh.
So they're rescuing you, bringing you into the caravan.
Am I aware of this?
I would think so. That you, in whatever rescue attempt was happening, or when they went to go get you, there was some kind of attack, and 2 people did not make it back of the 4 that went to get you, but you did come back with them. I will let you all make up the rest of the details. All I can tell you is 2 people were lost. So there's, you know,
I think then with that,
yeah.
Kalita also says, and I'm grateful that y'all took me in.
Oh, it was worth it. We always heard of vault dwellers, and you have such stories.
Well, hopefully I can help. Seems like there's been a few different opportunities for me to showcase that. Like I said, if there's anything that you need repaired, I'll do my best to pull my weight.
Oh, he says, I don't need anything repaired, but Diamond City, so much opportunity. There's a whole repair shop there, so I've heard. And he kind of turns and he looks at what I imagine is Sister Delilah nearby, eating. Do you eat the rad roach meat?
Yes. You see her saying grace and blessing her meal before eating, and you hear, Adam, thank you for gifting us with this meal. May your warm glow see us through this harsh winter. And then she continues eating her rad roach.
Crunch into the rad roach, and he turns to you just as you put rad roach leg in your mouth, and he goes, what about you? What do you look forward to in Diamond City?
Oh, I too am looking for someone. There are many opportunities.
Well? He seems hesitant to ask you about who you're in love with.
Well, it is a love, in a sense, yes. But Diamond City does have many opportunities. You're right. Especially for those like myself, children of Adam, the chosen.
Mm-hmm.
You two will all see it soon. You are lost children. But that's all right.
Grant leans back into Mr. Handy and goes, I have never been so happy you don't sleep.
I'm inclined to agree, Grant. We have quite
No, I'm whispering to you. Shh.
How does one whisper when you're inside this way?
No, don't worry about it. Hey, just continue.
Oh, my brethren.
Continue. Oh, yeah.
Let us share.
He's malfunctioning. I just kind of like bang on you a couple times.
With the waters
Forgive
of
me,
life.
Grant. My apologies.
Let them be filled by Adam.
What are we filling them with?
Let them know his glow and be truly enlightened. And let them live forever and walk with us in the grace of Adam's glow, to never be empty again.
I just wanted to know what you were gonna do when you got to Diamond City. He kind of repeats himself. The question, he says, I hope you find that glow you're looking for. He hesitantly kind of turns around. He looks at the kids. The kids are all like, I know they've heard your sermons before. They're almost used to it at this point because you were with them before this caravan left their little community to come this way. You were already there trying to convert them, and now they've had a 2-week travel through the frigid, frozen wasteland snow with your consistent sermons.
I think Kalita's enjoying it. I think it sounds magical. It sounds like this thing that's going to let us live forever. Like from Kalita's perspective, that sounds great.
Yeah, not like propaganda at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is propaganda? I don't know.
It is. And I imagine last, of course, to take the last of the rad roach is going to be Mortimer, as it kind of gets passed around and everybody's now kind of crunching and munching and joking and sharing. And he says, what about you? Come a long way just for money. Caps. Caps. A long way for just caps.
Well, the way the winter sets in, I'm just looking for warmth, to be honest.
Then stray not far. You can stay just under me. I provide plenty of warmth.
It does help, but, yeah, seems... I've never seen a winter this bad in my life. Seems like the place to be right now is civilization.
Oh,
Going it alone doesn't work so well when, there's nothing but fucking snow.
Oh, that's right. You're from here. Well, you've been around the Commonwealth for a while. He knows things.
Well, you've been around enough, you learn the right places to go and the right things to do.
Well, we really appreciate you escorting us.
Anyone that's looking for people, I think best place to look is Diamond City. Everyone's going to be flocking there right now.
Oh, it's true. And actually, he turns to Grant at this point. Most of the rad meat is gone. He's got a little like Brad Roach juice. He enjoyed it. It was very good. And he says, "Oh, please tell me you're coming to cook. For Diamond City, we could use a good cook."
And he's taking like a big gulp. He's like, "Yep, bingo. Looking for a gig. I'm a simple man.
A gig?
Job.
Oh, right. Oh, there's a noodle stand in Diamond City. Did you hear?
Oh, no. Tell me again. Tell me for the first time.
Oh, there's a noodle stand in the center of Diamond City.
As
It's run by a robot.
You see Grant lean in, and he's like, "It's really sweet, but I'm really tired of answering his questions every night. The same damn thing. Every time. How many times is he going to ask the sister of Adam about what she's going to do and hear her goddamn sermon before he fucking remembers just once about the previous night?"
It's cute, Grant. What is the worst that can happen from this?
How do I not remember? You can't whisper.
I am incapable of these traits.
I know. Yeah, you're incapable. Yeah, great. Sorry. Yeah, looking for a job and, the noodle stand. Thank you for reminding me.
And what about you, Mason? Do you have plans?
I do, in fact.
He raises like a single clipper shear.
I have goals by night and by day. By day, I wish to open Mason's Marvelous Main Maintenance, a place of follicular sophistication, a place where you and others can come to tune their hair, to find their way into something sharp, something lovely, fitting for them. And by night, I seek the one and only Purloin, the notorious Savoy. I've yet to find him. I'm afraid
I've yet to know who the hell he is.
Fear not. I'll do all the research. I'll find him.
I really like that whole stop when you say come for a little bit. It sells it.
He kind of looks to the rest of the party, these other 8 people in the caravan, and he goes, "What about all of you?" And a few of them are like, I was, I'm looking forward to a new pair of pants or like a good warm meal. Just kind of normal stuff that's I could really use some new ammo for my gun, some basic stuff. And this group has big big dreams, some of which don't make any sense at all. But the conversation is lighthearted enough, and the food is warm and good enough. And near the end, this gentleman, we'll call him Carter. They call him Old Man Carter. Old Man Carter. He goes, Kalita, could you turn on the radio? I sure do love to listen to Diamond City Radio. We're so close now. The wind outside is like just blowing and battering this shack.
She's like, of course, I suppose it is time, isn't it? And she kind of pulls up her sleeve, and you can see this Pip-Boy, and she hits a couple buttons, and it starts playing.
As it kind of tunes in, and you hear the crackle of the station kind of pick up, and difficult, especially with the weather outside, for what little, I guess, antennae or radio stations have to offer in the Commonwealth. But it is, the song kind of dwindles out as the radio DJ comes on, a familiar voice of Travis, who is the DJ of Diamond City Radio, a quaint man with little to no charisma. And he says, oh, well, thanks for listening to Diamond City Radio. This is Travis. It's a cold one out there, everybody. I got something new in this week. It's something through the mail. They paid me a few caps, so we're gonna play it right now, everybody. This is a letter from the last what's his name? Last son of Adam. Yeah.
What? Kalita, turn it up.
Kalita turns it up a little bit.
Here we go.
Many groups, organizations, and factions claim to protect the people of the Commonwealth, but their true mission is to exhort and enforce their will. You know them by their weapons, violence, and inequitable leadership. They have rendered the masses blind, holding hostage your futures and delaying your deliverances. To those who would protect these wicked people, know that their disastrous practices are not Atom's will. He warns against their self-serving heresy. I am the last son of Adam, and I have foreseen the end of their reign. Their greed will divide them until they devour each other, and the good people of the Commonwealth make this land free from tyranny once more. I call upon you to join me in protecting the vulnerable and speaking truth to power. Even if you have spilled blood in service to these vile factions infecting the Commonwealth, the Church of Atom welcomes you with open arms, for it is only Atom who can provide for all his children even in the coldest of winters. It is only Atom's chosen who can walk infinite, perfect worlds of blue skies and endless food when the day of division arrives at last. Those who embrace the warmth of Atom's glow know eternity and division. Those who take advantage of the vulnerable will only know Atom's divine judgment.
The end of the speech is punctuated with a snore, as you see Grant had fallen asleep somewhere mid-speech.
Good propaganda to lull you into...
He fell asleep.
And,
the last son of Adam. The last son of Adam. Could this be true? Could it be? This is the chosen one?
What does it mean?
Not a word of it.
Sister Delilah.
Well, this person in Diamond City claims they are the last son of Adam.
But what does that mean exactly?
They are chosen. The chosen.
By who?
Adam.
Adam who?
Seems very circular. I don't understand. Grant, please explain this to me.
No. What? Huh? What?
Long
I'm in the
our
same boat,
world,
Mason.
long our world has been barren and our people have become empty.
Oh my God, she's still talking.
Adam and his bounty have brought us this far and will deliver us through this winter. This is the way we can be saved, everyone. This is the way we can survive the winter. These material items you speak of, pants, noodles, it doesn't matter.
Grant nods. You first.
That is what will get us through this winter. Adam's glow. The last son of Adam.
And we want to start a pool. 100 caps. Fire gets me through the winter.
The fire and flame of Adam.
No, just like normal fire.
It's quite all right.
There's no fire of Adam. There's no bounty. Adam didn't bring you those red roaches. I did.
And I cooked them. I'm Grant.
And I assisted.
He did. He's picked up a lot of good. He cut those legs off with precision accuracy.
None
It's
of
true.
this. None of this would have happened, not without the divine grace. You see, Kalita, you have many questions. The world we are in right now is a gift. Everything brought upon this wasteland that we call our home is a gift from Adam. This is new creation, a new universe, and every atom there is a new universe. And we are just in one of them. This is all according to plan. This is all a divine purpose.
And what does Adam think about the vaults? I've never heard of them.
Well,
Oh, you stumped her. You got her.
I'm sure all the good things in the vaults were provided by Adam, and all the bad things in the vaults are
You know
things that he's
what?
protecting us
I was
from.
about to say, the vault
whatever.
itself would be bad because it kept these people from his divine light or radiation when the bombs fell. But the people themselves are not bad. They're just like anybody else, lost and not a part of his flock. Yeah.
But Kalita, this is like, you're
You
the
were-
first
yeah,
person
you
who's
were
talked
brought
about
here
Adam.
for a purpose. You were left that vault that you came from, Kalita, and you were brought here. Everything has a purpose, remember that.
Well, I left on my own to find my husband. You see, where I'm from, they, well, this is the first time it's ever happened, but when someone gets pregnant with a son, the father has to lead. I just don't understand it. Doesn't make any sense.
Don't think I ever met one of you vault dwellers that made any sense.
Yeah, that all sounds bizarre as hell. You've never heard of like a baby being born, daddy gotta go. I mean, most of the time that happens, but it's
Oh, yeah, because he
is
wants to
for
go
them
get milk and
stay.
he's not coming home.
Right. Go fetch a Brahmin and doesn't return.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, the idea that daddy has to go, that's very foreign to the rest of you. Actually,
It's like normal vault bullshit.
And Grant just nods. I agree.
Delilah, perhaps more people would be interested in hearing your speeches if they took you more seriously. You might find yourself under my sartorial splendor. Perhaps you desire follicular finesse.
He knows so many fancy words, I'm telling you.
Trace doesn't even know what that means.
Allow me, please. I can sophisticate your visual aesthetic. Your hair is rather lacking.
I'm trying to think if she would partake to this. I will say it's quite all right that everybody here doesn't understand. I do not take offense to it personally. Soon you will all see when we make it to the city. But if you are offering, I suppose.
Mason's primary function is, after all, to provide impeccable grooming services. Allow me.
Wow.
Right in front of our dinner.
You'll
Get a
a
haircut.
fresh haircut. Yeah. This is Fallout. There's already hair on your red roach. It's not gonna matter.
A little extra protein.
Yeah, a little extra protein. Nothing goes
Fine.
to waste. And you do. I mean, you are literally programmed to provide quality haircuts, so I cannot tell you otherwise. That is what you were built for. And so it is a nice haircut. You get your ends trimmed, though I don't know how much that can help when your hair is as radioactively fried as yours is. It doesn't even have any color left in it. But it's almost strange inside this little hovel, as there's a little bit of laughter and joking, camaraderie, a fellowship, maybe some conversion tactics, and some light picking and poking as you all share in a meal, something that doesn't happen very often in the Wasteland. In fact, for many of you, this might be the first time in a long time where you've shared a meal with this many people. And outside,
I enjoy watching Mason give a haircut. That's all I was gonna say.
Yeah.
He's gonna shill all the way through it. And he's like,
By the time you're done, please be the walking billboard that I desire you to be, and express to people that they should seek out Mason's marvelous main maintenance. I can only hope that your journey through the wasteland will be as smooth as your freshly shorn scalp.
You know what?
As you're bald, because there was no like end to your dead ends.
I just have like a shaved, buzz cut.
Okay. Okay, y'all are lucky. You're so fudging lucky. Mason is very
when the
loud.
GM starts rolling random.
I know.
I'm like,
Yeah, Mason is very, very loud. And the good
downsides,
news...
upsides, guys, right? Like I don't eat, I don't drink, I don't fall asleep,
You have
but I'm
fire
really
coming out
fucking
of your
loud.
butt. But yes, he is really fudging loud. The good news is, literally, says the chart, it is just frigid wind out there tonight. And the frigid wind and cold actually muffles the excessive noise of Mason this evening, pitching his hair salon of the future to Sister Delilah. And the night will pass with no complications. It's cold. As you all wake up, you can relieve 1 bar of fatigue. There, you're tired. You're a little less tired. You actually did get a good night's rest. I should ask though, Mortimer, did you stay up all night or did you sleep too? Or did you leave Mr. Handy to watch the door? Yeah.
We got a
This is your
robot that never sleeps. So I'm gonna sleep.
Okay, yeah.
It just dawned on me, Dot, that Grant keeps Mason around because he's a portable heating window, so food never chills.
Yeah.
Just hide it under him.
He's gonna. If we ever separate, you become
You
my
can
white
just, like-
noise. I don't know what's gonna happen when you're not around. I'm not gonna be able to sleep again.
Aw.
And in the morning, it takes some extra force to get the door open. Not only has it been iced shut, but the snow has built up as you kind of, either whether you open the door in and it's just solid snow you got to cut through, or you got to push it open. But either way, there's a little work to maintain and get back to where it was, because over the last few hours, the snow has settled. The good news is, you know your direction, Mortimer. You've been here. You've done this before. It is why they hired you. So directionally speaking, it's not a difficult thing. It's just getting everybody back on the move. The snow is denser than before, but you only have a few hours of travel. And I'm actually going to have you make this travel check to make sure y'all don't come into contact with any kind of complications along the way.
I think that Kalita is up early as well.
Okay.
Primarily because she can't sleep well. She's like rolling around, not having great sleep, and has to pee every 5 seconds. And she's out there with Mortimer, but with Dogmeat, who's kind of like sniffing. You see her kind of hand Dogmeat like what looks like a blue cloth, and Dogmeat like sniffs it vigorously.
Yeah.
And then she pockets it back into her bag.
And he
Grant sleeps until Mason wakes him up.
There's no breakfast, of course, unless you have something on you want to offer.
For what? Sorry.
Breakfast.
For breakfast.
Oh.
So here's what I'm gonna say. Kalita's up to join you, and the rest of everybody kind of gets up slowly to pack what little they have. Grant's the last one up, thanks to Mason. Mason, you have learned the ways of waking Grant, even in the cold.
Grant!
One loud shout. God,
Good
I
morning,
told you.
Wastelander.
Can't you play like gentle music to wake me up? Like a nice little flowery alarm clock or something instead of shouting my name.
I
Every
failed
morning.
to execute this function. It is not something I've been programmed with.
Yeah. Figure out a fancy word to say wake me up nicely. All right? You got so many other ones for cutting people's hair. How about nice wake up for your best friend?
Well, best friend, you're looking rather blue. Perhaps I can warm your parts.
No, I'm just cold. Get out of the way.
Noted.
And as you get up and this door pushes open and you trudge back into multiple feet of snow, I feel like this is Tracy and I in high heels trying to get to Maggie's wedding.
There was so much snow. We had like 12 inches of snow.
This is even more than that, but I imagine it looks no less ridiculous as all of you are kind of trying to dig your way out of this building. As you make it to what is inevitably the path or what's left of the road, we're going to make a travel check. There's a very specific way to do this. We got to set the difficulty first based on a series of questions. Is this an established route between settlements? It is established route into a settlement, so I'm going to say yes. So no points there. Are you familiar with the area? Mortimer is. So as long as Mortimer is our navigator, I will say that we are familiar with the area.
Works with me.
Is it under control of a friendly faction? Technically, yes. Diamond City and the area around it is usually pretty heavily controlled by its security. And have they been given good directions? Do they know prominent landmarks to aid navigation? Again, Mortimer, you've made this trip before. This is not the first time. That's how you get stuck on the outskirts of town anyway. So I'd say yes, you know where you're going, and there are obstacles, no obstacles. So, it's actually a 0 difficulty check. But I need to know at which speed are you going? Are you taking this last few hours cautiously, normal, or hurried?
So, was the last few hours before
you reached Diamond City?
Or...
Yeah, because basically last night the storm was too bad. You weren't going to make it before the storm would have killed you all, basically. So you set up. You're actually look at this. We'll take everybody over to a beautiful map. See a map of the wasteland. Boom. This Diamond City here, this nice, and you have been traveling in on this road. In fact, that right about here, 3 days ago is where you picked up Grant and Mason. You all crossed the bridge yesterday, and you got across this piece of water here, probably to just about right here, honestly, before y'all had to kind of set up camp. So you're not well-traveled path coming in and out of Diamond City. You also have the ruins of the city itself, which keep more of the snow out, which makes travel easier. I just need to know, are you trying to get there quickly or not? Are you taking it cautiously, normally, or hurried?
Probably not going to push it because it seems like we're going to get there within the day without having to go fast.
It's true. You will. So you just want to take like a normal?
But yeah, we'll go for a normal pace.
Okay. So in this case, it's going to decrease again, and it's not going to change, so you may not have to make a test at all. In this case, you don't. It is a 0 difficulty, because you know where the hell you're going. You've done this before. So in this case, in a 2d20 system, if there is a 0 difficulty, there is no need for a roll. So in this case, Mortimer, talk us through it. You don't have far to go. You're going to pass through the ruins of this little town right here before you actually make it into the core of the Commonwealth. What does it look like as you lead the last of the people of this caravan to what inevitably, fingers crossed, is safety?
I think as the last of people like file out of the shack and huddle together, shivering, I'm like, another brisk day in paradise. You know the drill, people. We keep walking. We're not too far out from Diamond City, so just keep a steady pace, and by the night we'll be in warm beds. Nice and safe behind some big high walls. Keep together. If your fingers and toes stay numb for more than an hour, pop by Mason. Stick them under there.
Everybody kind of knows the drill. We've been doing this now. This will be day number 14. So it's pretty standard, and everybody grabs their travel buddy, checks on whoever, double checks their pack is nice and tight, double wraps their feet if they have the luxury, pulls their coat tight, and you all trudge forward. Mortimer, you're having to kind of cut the snow through. Mason may even go ahead and kind of melt some of the taller snow with his butt a little bit to kind of get it out of the way.
Thinking Mason's out there with the snippers.
Oh yeah, you're wrong. And you're kind of trying to cut the snow as much as possible. And after a few hours of, once again, treacherous, snowy conditions, you do make it to the outskirts of this small little town. There's nothing much left. That's pretty normal across the Commonwealth. Just the foundational pieces, the occasional wall that was left standing of a building. But as you get closer, maybe even for Kalita too. You see the rubble of a city. The ruins, remains, and bones of what was an actual metropolis one time. Skyscrapers still partially stand, though no windows, of course. Concrete roads, collapsed bridges, and freeways that loop and weave in and out of the area. This was very clearly heavily populated at one point. And as you roll into the Commonwealth proper, the actual core center of it, you all begin to hear the sound of more people. A lot of them. They seem upset.
Oh boy.
The
Might have
guard, the
been too
guard,
slow.
the guide's saying, "Oh boy, then I'm gonna take you to the back of the line."
Kalita will move up to where Mortimer is. What's wrong?
Oh, we're not the first here.
What does that mean?
Maybe there's a waiting list, you know?
Were we supposed to sign up for something?
Technically, Diamond City is an open city to all during daylight hours. Well, everybody but ghouls. You know that, Mortimer. Oops.
Well, normally you can just show up and walk in, but winter like this, everyone's coming here. They might have changed the policy.
And you know the
What
exact...
is this place?
Oh.
I've never seen
one of the-
buildings like this before.
Oh. Yeah, so you used to underground, right?
Pretty much. Lived in the vaults
Well,
my whole life.
Well, this is one of the biggest cities in the area.
In fact, Grant, you would have seen it. You would have known what it was maybe even before. People used to build up, not under.
He may not have been here in particular, but yeah, he probably just like holds that to himself right now. More interested to see what Kalita says, if she's continued to say anything, or rather what Mortimer's going to say too. Is like, are we getting in here or not? So wait, they changed the policy while you were gone?
Well, I haven't been here since before the winter.
And
It's easy to have an open door policy when times are good.
Snow settled
not.
4 weeks ago. That was 4 weeks ago. When the snore blew
What
in.
are we going to do now?
Well,
Like a waiting town? We can go hang out, like the B team?
if they don't let us in, let me speak to them.
Oh, God, we're not getting in.
So, Mortimer, you know the exact path to cut through the city so you don't end up in super mutant territory or accidentally walk into a raider camp around an alleyway corner. And what it leads to is actually a narrow alleyway that cuts out between two buildings. And as it spits you out into what we would call a plaza, a very large one, in fact, a massive plaza in front of an old baseball stadium. We know it as Finley Plaza. Or we did 200 plus years ago. Now it is a mast of people. 5, 6, 7 times what you're carrying in your caravan is already here. And you can see that the gates of Diamond City are closed. These two massive green gates. And there's a bit of scaffolding that builds up and around it, and there are security there. That's pretty standard. But the gates being closed during daylight hours are not. And the people seem rather kind of upset. And the security guards are yelling at them, and there's just a general grumpiness amongst the crowd.
Is Dogmeat still sniffing in that direction? Like if I crouch down and scratch his little ears and I say,
he's still kind of
which
smelling
direction?
the ground. There's a lot of people here, which makes it a little bit more difficult, but you all still seem on track. It seems like maybe your husband actually came to Diamond City, or at least came this way. Dogmeat is telling you you're still on track.
Okay. I think I will relay that to Mortimer then. He must have come this way. I need to get in there. I'll stand in this line all night if I have to.
Do you think your hubby could help us get in? Has he got
don't
some
know.
pull?
I will help us get in. We are here
Oh,
for the
Jesus
pilgrimage,
Christ.
of course.
Good
There was
Lord.
there was a radio call.
Mason, Google get us in.
No, I think Delilah's right.
They will let us in if we're here to
They
see
had
the last
Maybe that's
son
why
of
there's so
Adam.
many people here. It's because they're trying to see this son of Adam.
You know what? If this Adam guy is letting people in, then we're all sons of Adam today.
Yes. Well,
Sure,
you will
why
have
not?
to drink the waters,
All
but
hailed his
we'll go through that
glorious
process.
provisions. He totally killed those rad roaches.
All right.
How let me throw this out there for Dot. How familiar are the children of Adam to normal people in the wasteland? Are they common?
That's a great question.
Grant could react many different ways depending.
Here's the thing. Up until very recently, since the storm, when this last son of Adam has started putting out his propaganda, most of the time the children of Adam are really quiet. They're the cultists that pull to themselves, start a commune, don't bother anybody. They worship in peace. And if they can convert you, great. Right? He's using some harsher tactics, like real propaganda and stuff, which is very new. But most people have come in contact with a child. It's like a Jehovah's Witness showing up on your front doorstep.
Yeah,
it happens.
gotcha.
Everybody comes in contact with one. How much you know about their religion is, up to you. The same thing with Mormonism, right? It's the same thing. So in this case, you've heard of them. They're around, and obviously you've heard a lot from her. But the average person would know what a child of Adam is. Will they care? Oh,
right. I was just curious. Cause sorry, I didn't mean to like.
No. It's a smart question because the average person has come in contact with them at least once, probably.
I would like to head to the front of the line. And to whomsoever is at the front of the gates.
Well, here's the thing. There is no line. It is a mass of people. It's a bit of a mob right now of people amassed out front. And actually, I think I have a picture of the front of this Finley Plaza here. I do. Look at me go. Diamond City Gates. All right. So you can see there's this big plaza, right? The baseball statue still stands. And there's not as much snow on the ground here. Most of it's either been melted away, scooped away, pushed to the side, or has melted with foot traffic, right? And you can see that the baseball stadium itself has had like lots of rebuilding. They have structuralized it with any junk that they could find to make it almost entirely secure. And this scaffolding up and around in here are kind of where your guards are standing. They're out front, and they're kind of keeping people back away from the door. You are welcome to tell me how you plan to cut through this crowd.
Oh God. I'm just gonna make my way through, be like, excuse me, I'm here for the last son of Adam, please. Excuse me, a child of Adam here. And I'm just gonna try to make my way to the front and be like, we are here on important business. And I'm gonna just like yell that and like push my way through.
I will take a speech charisma check. I'm gonna say this is a difficulty of 3. You're yelling over the people. Nobody gives a crap that you're a child of Adam, and everybody here has important business, including surviving.
I would like to use one of our dice for this.
Okay, so you want to use an action point.
I think you might need to use more.
So that you'll have 2 to start, and you're going to add a 3rd die. So we'll go from 6 to 5 action points. Do you want to use 2 more to get a 4th dice? Remember, you can always recoup them with extra successes. But
okay. So how many in total do I use? 3 action points total?
If you want to get 2 additional dice, it is 3 action points, because 1 is for the first die, 2 points for the second die, and if you want a 3rd, it is 3 points. They go up in price every time you buy one, basically.
All right. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna spend 3 of our action points.
Go for it.
Right.
Grant would have fought, not like close, would stay. He wants to watch the show. He just wants to see what happens. So he's just within ear and eye shot. He just wants to see. Yeah.
I feel like we're stood next to each other. I'm just like smirking, like this is gonna be fun.
I'm actually trying to support Delilah. Unlike that, I'm not here just for the show. I'm like, okay,
I'll look to Mortimer. How many caps?
So
25,
2 is your
25
base
caps.
roll.
She doesn't get in.
Add 2 more to it for the dice pool. You need 3 successes to do what you want to do. It doesn't mean that they're
You said it was a speech, right?
It is yes, speech charisma.
But we're using 3 of our action points.
Yeah, we use 3. Y'all are down to 3.
Totally fine.
Okay. You got 2. Now here is your option. You can spend a luck point and re-roll a d20 of one of the 2 failures, or you can just stick with your 2. It doesn't mean you're not successful. It just means you're not as successful as you wanted to be.
I will spend a luck point to
okay. So you can just roll a flat d20. You're looking to get under a 10 or under.
Flat D20.
You can do that with a custom roll.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Oof. Okay.
That's okay. So you get two. A few people do kind of part ways the moment you start like pushing through, and a few people, here's the thing. They're a bit of an irate crowd, and they begin pushing back. One guy goes, yeah, we're all here for important shit, lady. I'm fucking starving. My wife hasn't eaten in 2 days. You know, people are getting a little, like, grumpy. And as you push through, what you actually see is there's another, I'd say 5 or 6 group of people who are beating up on somebody. You didn't see it before because it was too deep into the crowd, but they're actively like kicking someone. And you realize it simply because they're up there on the scaffolding. It's a Diamond City security person. And they're like, please help me. I'm just trying to help. And he's kind of like, he's very injured. And not because they injured him. He showed up injured and they're just making it worse.
Okay.
You all see this now that she has kind of parted the crowd with her Child of Adam crazy, but it was not enough for them to like let her through, if that makes sense. She's just caused a scene and drawn attention.
Okay. And so this Diamond City official is getting beat up.
Yeah, it looks like the security person is very injured.
I think Kalita will just run forward. Like, she's a medical staff. Like, that's what she literally, that's what she does, is take care of people. So I think not thinking that this isn't, you know, just seeing that someone's injured, will run forward to try to like help them.
Yeah, and
at her own detriment.
Yeah, that's true.
I go from amused to like, oh crap, and I just immediately start like wading in there, like this isn't gonna help anything.
Okay, as you run in, a few of the people back up because I imagine you kind of push them back to tend for this
yeah.
man. And you see he is extremely injured. Most of what they were doing was like light beating and battering. They were punching him for fun. In this case, as part of this riotous event, because obviously everybody cannot go in the gates of Diamond City. But this man was injured much longer, was injured before he got here, much worse than what they were doing to him. And he looks up at you and he kind of gasps, and you can see the blood kind of trickling out of his mouth as he says, "Thank you so much. I have to get in to see the mayor." And he's kind of pulling at your jacket when he sees that you're wearing a vault suit underneath, and his eyes kind of get big, as if he's never seen a vault dweller before.
Yeah, I think as Kalita's like pushing in, she's like, "Back up, move away. This man needs some help." And then she's just like, "You're injured, sir. What happened here?"
He says, "I can't. We were attacked. We were moving food for Diamond City. The raiders, they got us." And he's grasping at a very bad wound in his gut area where he was clearly shot. And there's some burn
Kalita
marks.
immediately puts like pressure on where this gun wound is, and then starts trying to like tighten something, like grab a piece of cloth or something.
Yeah,
pull
you can
something
actually
off of
make a
him to-
medicine check if you'd like, a medicine intelligence check in this moment.
Sure.
You might learn a little bit. In this case, if you're just trying to staunch the bleeding, that's a pretty low roll. You'd only need one
Two
success.
successes.
Do you want to get something extra in the moment, or do you want to bank that action point back? Because you only needed one success.
I think something extra in the sense of maybe I can like cauterize it or stop, like make it so that he can
absolutely
be more stay conscious.
We'll stick with the 3 action points then. Yeah, and you spend the 1 for the success. So you do staunch the bleeding. Immediately sees bleeding out. Them kicking him wasn't helping. You put some pressure on it, kind of stop the bleeding, and you realize that he's been burned. There was some kind of explosion. He has explosive burn marks all over his body. And you immediately reach in your bag for whatever you have and kind of bind down this place to kind of keep it staunched for now. He's not going to bleed out, which he was before. And he's actually able to get kind of to his feet. And the people that were beating him around still kind of watching you do this. And one of them says, "He doesn't deserve it. He's not going to let any of us in. This is all Diamond City's fault. They said they could help us."
I like elbow my way to the front, and I'm like, he's definitely not gonna let you in if you beat the shit out of him.
That's a couple people are like, "Oh, yeah, well, maybe he's right." You know, that's a perspective they hadn't really thought about. And the rest of you can see this as well. A few of them are kind of looking oddly, specifically at Sister Delilah, and now this, woman who has picked up this Diamond City security officer, and he said, we gotta get inside, and he kind of points forward, but cutting through the people will be difficult. Is anybody else taking any kind of action?
I probably whistle over to everyone else, like, come on, just like, this is our ticket, get over here.
Okay.
Yeah, if he signals like this is it, then yeah, I'll be like, oh yeah, get injured guy, get out of the way. Hey, bonus points if you move. We got a pregnant woman too. Move. And I just start using
you like
her.
lean into it a little bit, and people start okay, and everybody's really confused now that you have all made a scene. But the rest of the caravan attempts to kind of trail and travel along in behind you, and as you get up to the gate, people are really grumpy and upset up here, like real grumpy and upset. Some of them are like pushing against the kind of shields of the guards that are here. And one of the guards from up top looks down and kind of points at Kalita and the rest of you who have pulled this security guy from
I think while I'm walking with him, I might be like, "What's your name, sir?"
That's a great question. He does have one, and I need to tell you what it is, and I can't remember off the top of my head.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
He's in and out of consciousness.
He's
he's
bobbing
trying
in
to
and out of consciousness. He's like,
It's like, it hurts.
He kind of nods actually off in your hands.
I didn't know if he's someone important. That's why I was like, maybe I should ask him what his name is.
He is going to be someone important. Well, I say that. He will be a security officer, which means you'll know him now, once you get his name.
His hair is poorly maintained. He looks like a Gregory.
Yeah, I would say Gregory's fine. He kind of whispers something, you don't get his name, as he kind of nods off. And the security officer, the woman above, actually looks down, and she kind of comes through like a speaker of some kind or some kind of PA system. And she says, "You 5. Bring him here." And they lower a scaffolding elevator. You see it like, and it's off to the left. And a lot of people kind of push the way a crowd does when the rock star like steps on stage. And the Diamond City starts holding them back. They are not, Mortimer, going to allow the rest of the caravan in.
I think I said to him, like, I don't know, seems like an 11-man job to carry this guy. Just to see if it works.
She goes, "Fine, you can drop his body and all of you can stay outside."
Damn it, fine. I like to the remaining group, I'm like, I'll get you guys in. It'll be easier from the inside.
Oh shit, we're leaving them.
Deal's a deal.
He goes, "Oh, but wait!" As the crowd kind of like swarms in the rest of the caravan and kind of pulls them back into the masses. The 5 of you make it, and the crowd is pushing forward, and the security guys are trying all they can to kind of brace the crowd. As you step onto this platform, a big button is hit above and lurches with all 6 of you on, and Dogmeat, 7 of you on it, as it rises very slowly. I guess Mr. Handy doesn't have any weight because you float, but you could have done it yourself. Do you ride the elevator, or do you float yourself up to the top?
Of course he rides. It's certainly going to allow them to bask in his radiance.
Great.
We weren't going to get up. I was going to toss the idea of holding on and seeing if you can get me over the wall.
Yeah.
Fly me up and over.
And up you go, and you realize that this actually delivers you to this platform that feeds into the inside of what we know would be this baseball facility. And when you get there, all of the security kind of raise their guns at you, and you can see he's kind of nodding off, and somebody runs over and kind of 2 of them take him from you, and they say, "We're gonna take him to medical." And they're like, go. And they kind of squint their eyes, the woman that was in charge, and she says, "So, just good Samaritans, or do you want something?"
Well, last I heard, you could just walk into the city and make your contributions.
Well, not anymore.
Changed.
Too many people, not enough food. It's too cold. Plus, the mayor says we have to keep the gates closed at all times for security reasons.
Well, you're in luck. You're absolutely in luck. While we may not have food, we bring skills. Skills and splendor.
This guy here's a world-class chef.
We have one of those already.
But how many partners do you have on hand?
One of those as well.
Exactly whom I'm here to meet.
She gets. This is not the point. Diamond City is closed to everyone. And you hear from above, a voice. The mayor. He says, "Let them up. I have questions for them." Seems kind of seedy as he tightens his hat. She looks confused as to why he'd be interested in you at all.
Well, I suppose we have some questions to answer then.
Delilah, perhaps he's a son of Adam.
We will find out.
Maybe he is Adam.
I would be delighted to meet
That
him.
is heresy. Do not speak those words.
I've met many an Adam in my time.
There are plenty of Adams out there.
None are the Adam.
What does the Adam even look like? Do you even know?
None can behold his light and his glow. To look upon Adam's glow.
How
You must
terribly
have a brilliant
convenient.
stylist.
But you too can drink the waters of life.
Grant just looks himself up and down. Sister, I bathed in it. If anyone's a child of Adam, he just kind of looks him up. It's gonna be one of us, not one of you smooth skins.
Her skin doesn't look as smooth, but it's not as
Yeah,
polished
but
as
you know
yours,
what I mean,
for
you know.
sure.
I'm
It's
on my way.
comparison, yeah.
A ghoul.
I'm on my way there. To goal status.
Yeah, on my way to goal status. Make me a t-shirt. And this is a conversation that's had as you ride one more elevator up to what we would know as the box of the baseball stadium, like where they would broadcast from the big window set that really overlooks the entire diamond itself. And here is the mayor's office. As you get off, you see the gentleman that you helped carry up. He's laid out on the couch in here. Stim pack has been issued and he's a little bit more conscious than he was before. And the mayor is a stout man. He wears a tweed brown suit and a horrid tie and a matching hat, and he thinks it looks really good. And he has a secretary that sits at a desk nearby, and he greets you with a cheeky smile. Ah, good Samaritans, what has Diamond City done to deserve such kind, humane spirits?
I just saw someone getting hurt and I thought he might need help.
Well, we all need help, but we don't always reach out that helping hand now, do we?
I've been taught that you should.
Have
Someone
you
needs
met a
help.
Mr. Handy?
It's practically
Their
my
program.
job.
Yes, we have one of those. He cooks our noodles. And you're right. I hope that others can learn from your kind and go get 'em ways. But I need to know what he told you. And he kind of gestures to the man who's still, on the sofa trying to become conscious again.
He said something about not being able to bring the food. There was an attack of some sort.
Damn
He looked
it.
like he was shot.
No. And he kind of slams his hand down on the desk very dramatically. He says, that was our only food supply.
Oh.
He says the last train to Diamond City was carrying a mass amount of food to feed us and everyone outside the gates.
Is that why you're not letting anyone in?
Not until we had the food or they would have overrun us. And I am a good mayor after all. I promise only what I can provide.
Well, then you got to send someone out there to help them. There might be more people injured.
You are right. What is your name, miss? You're a very, very smart woman.
Morales. Kalita Morales.
Kalita Morales, a true, proper vault dweller, I see. He kind of looks you up and down. I bet you have stories to tell, but I want to add one to your docket. Because, in fact, I've selected the 5 of you, the good Samaritans of Diamond City, to go and find out what happened at the train. Recover the food, bring it back for the people. That sounds really nice, doesn't it?
Are you sure we're the right people to do that? I mean, I don't even know what a train is.
You said you heard a lot of stories about vault dwellers, but I haven't heard a story about a vault dweller who fucking lives.
He all
I'm
but
alive.
ignores Grant. He doesn't even make eye contact with Grant. Doesn't even look at him. Pretends he.
I look
said
over to
nothing.
Mason. Did he hear me?
I believe he hears you just fine, Grant.
as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, the 5 of you will be so perfect for recovering the food. Each of you are a piece of spirit of what it is that we are here in Diamond City, except for one of you. But we'll work on that later.
He's a robot.
Don't you think
Be nice.
you should
It's true.
send some guards, people who have combat experience, maybe some guns?
He leans over. He says, "I have sent our guards. That's all that came back." And he points to the man on the couch.
And you think that you want to send more people to do that?
I want to send our good Samaritans to do that.
A chef,
Uh,
a pregnant
Alita
woman.
just looks back at the rest of them.
Yeah, and Grant goes, a chef, a pregnant woman, a robot who only cuts hair, a security guard who didn't even know what was going on in town, and a fucking psycho. How much?
Is he talking about me?
I think so.
I would say that each of you, 4 of you, have a prime opportunity to make a life here in
His
Diamond
name is
City.
Mason. Mason. His name is Mason. Yeah,
It's
Pat.
true. My name is Mason.
And he
Grant,
just,
this could be an opportunity to express some of my skills in purloin. I'd love
And
to
an
find my way
opportunity
through
to-
this mystery.
we
Upgrade
have
that little flamethrower of yours.
rules against stealing. How about this? I, when food has returned, can let all of the people in. You came with more people, right? I saw you have to leave them behind. And he looks over at Mortimer, knowing for a fact that the reason you had to is because he'd only let 5 of them out.
Yeah, got a half dozen people out there that I made a deal with.
Perhaps we'd be more inclined to agree if you'd let them in the doors.
But I can't do that.
I
until we
take that
have
deal.
More food. They'll literally tear each other apart.
They're trying to stay warm there, Mr. Mayor.
Plus,
you have a job.
With the overflow of the last children of Adam and, the Minutemen here in town, I'm having to prioritize importance.
It's been 200 and fucking something years, and damn, mayors never change.
Politicians.
the
Mr.
same.
Mayor, sir, you spoke of the children of Adam. They made their way here.
Oh, yes. We have
where
quite
are they?
a few in town. They spend some time at the chapel. They seem to be gathering in number for some kind of pilgrimage and journey. We
There
are
was a
opening
message
our
Away
that
doors.
went
from
out.
here?
Who speaks first?
Everybody spoke, then nobody spoke.
The mayor's like, I see that you're interested in meeting them. There are a few of them. You could go to the Dugout Inn where they tend to drink, though a few fights have broken out between them and the Minutemen over the last few evenings.
Oh.
But you didn't hear that from me.
In it, man.
Yes, the Minutemen.
What are they?
Well, they're Minutemen. They come in a minute to help.
They
Like,
are
so like
the
a
men who help-
super cheap escort.
No,
I
more.
believe there's something else, Grant.
Yes.
Organized Defense Force.
Yes.
Probably should be a better name than a minute. You don't want those guys to like last longer than a minute in combat in other places.
Organized Defense
Don't you
Force
think
doesn't
those are
roll
the
off
ones
tongue
you should
the
be-
same way.
No. But you can ODF.
Fortunately-
Just call it the ODF.
As
Don't you think those are the ones you should be sending to this train?
Well, the Minutemen have helped us out in a variety of other ways, and their business is not really our business.
But they live in your city.
No, they do not live here. Short-term residents, one might say, passing through.
He's sending
How could
us
they
because
help
we're
in-
expendable.
How can they help in other ways when they're committing acts of pugilism in the local pub?
I love pugilism.
Well, maybe you should ask them yourself. Though I regret to inform you, due to your current company, you cannot stay the night inside of Diamond City. We are a ghoul-free community,
what?
of course.
You failed to mention that, Mortimer.
I was hoping we could maybe arrange something, but situation's more
Would've
dire
been
than I
nice.
thought.
It would have been nice to know that I'm not allowed in here. See, this is what I'm talking about. I'm older than you. You're like a kid, and I could cook better noodles than anyone here. And you're gonna say no? Why?
Well, it
'Cause I'm
sounds...
old?
No, because you're a ghoul, and unfortunately
Right.
this is a ghoul-free community. We rid ourselves of the ghouls many years ago. They have their own community now. What is it called? Good Neighbor?
Isn't that where I'm from?
You are welcome to be from Good Neighbor.
Oh,
if
no,
you'd
never
like.
mind. I thought it was the other place, the hotel.
No,
The motel.
literally around the corner in this very
okay.
city, there is a place called Good Neighbor, which is a ghoul-only community which sprung up after they forced all the ghouls out.
Listen, I
They
helped
have
get
their
this.
space. We have ours.
I helped make that man not die by being there and making room. Okay, at least let me in.
No, absolutely not.
He's not
I
letting any of
will
us in.
consider a option.
So why
for-
would I go help you with these trains if I can't get into the city afterward? I ain't
Well,
good
that's what
Samaritan.
I
I ran
going
out of good
to
Samaritan juice. I'm out.
Well, I didn't know it came in juice form. Is that
Lots of
like
things
jet? Can I? No, I will offer you some form of residency if you could bring back food from the train or find another way. If you don't get out there, somebody else is going to raid that train, and no food for Diamond City. You starve, I starve, we starve, and it won't matter if you're a ghoul or human.
What is this train and where is it? What's it look like?
Oh, right. He kind of looks at you like, right, you probably don't know what a train looks like. He says, well, I'm hoping that it's still functioning, but it was the last remaining train in the Commonwealth, functioning one anyways. He says, if you go back out to the main road and head back out of town, you'll see it. You probably crossed a set of train tracks coming into town. Follow them north and you can't miss it. It looks like maybe they didn't make their drop.
You think you can get us there, Mortimer? Do you think we can get there? Probably a better
It won't
question.
be fun, but it's probably doable. It's a train, so
He says
Gotta
at this
follow the
point they're
track.
probably
We'll
come and
find it.
gone. All I need is for you to report back and bring back as much food as you can.
Suppose we
Think
need
about it.
food anyway. So, doesn't hurt.
Do you intend to provide us with the means to carry such a package? I lacked the appropriate digits to carry much.
well, hopefully the train can still run.
He says that would be the real goal, to just get the train up and running again. But I can provide you with a couple Brahmin, though your travels will be slower that way. If nothing else, scout it and come back and give us the full rundown, and I can send security to retrieve it.
If it's something easily fixable, I might be able to fix it. I've never seen a train before, but I've fixed all kinds of different machinery.
About this time, the man on the couch sputters, kind of like coughs himself awake, and he kind of gasps up and he looks around and sees all of you standing there, and he smiles a rather grateful smile. As he seems to be awake, and Professor McDonough says, "Explain yourself. Tell us what happened." Worst bedside manner ever. The man, this is woman, it's okay. The man kind of coughs and he says, I'm Clyde. Thank you for your kindness. And he kind of reaches his hand out as if to thank Kalita for being so kind.
Lita like nods in reassurance.
And he says, we were attacked, Mayor, by raiders. They blew up the train tracks. And you hear him slam his fist down again. Damn it, I knew it. Meaning the last train in the Commonwealth is no longer working. And he said, they toppled the cars. We weren't ready. He said, we had been traveling for days. We picked up a man, a strange man. And he's kind of trying to remember. And it says, he left us alone. I don't know if the raiders had anything to do with him or not, but I don't think so. He just grasps his side, coughs again. He's in and out of it. You don't know if what part of what he's saying is actual or not actual, or he made it up. But it seemed that they picked somebody up along the way. And just south of what we would call Oberlin Station. This is Oberlin Station here. He would say just south of Oberlin Station, they blew up the tracks.
Well, I don't think I can fix tracks.
Nope.
And if
I
raiders
can't put the train back on him.
went there, then they might have taken the food already.
He says we killed a
There
few,
might be something left.
but I was the only one that got away. They'll be back with more of them.
You said you picked up somebody? Where is this person now?
Oh, yes, I do not know. After the attack, he was in one of the train cars. I don't know what happened to him. I assumed he was killed like the rest.
Well, if these raiders are going to return, then we better hurry.
It sounds like we gotta follow the tracks, find the train, see if there's any food left in it. If there isn't, go find the nearby raider camp that's suddenly full of food.
Mayor McDonough says, do this for Diamond City. And I will not only assure that you have some form of citizenship, but I will also pay you quite a few caps. And he reaches in his, he snaps probably at his secretary. She pulls out a large bag of caps.
Well,
he tells you it looks going to be about a 24-hour journey. Look for the large radio tower.
And will that be with the carrier containers? Or will that journey be longer?
It'll be much longer if you're trying to you're talking about train-sized containers. You're all basically going to scout the situation, figure out the best option for trying to get the food, and make sure that it's not like taken. You might be able to sort something out when you get there. You just won't know until you actually arrive on site. So he's asking you to basically assess the damage and give him a real idea of what we can do.
Hey, Dot, how close is does the train pass by the baseball stadium?
It's over here.
It doesn't. So what would have happened is they would have pulled it into this rail station. So they would have, it would have come down this way, right? And pulled into this rail station, and then they would have moved the food from point A to point B on foot.
But my guess is they're probably staying on tracks just for ease of portability.
Oh yeah, the train itself is moving on real train tracks. Yes.
Okay, then what is the likelihood that we could make our way to the tracks and find a hand car?
You could definitely go down to that rail station and see if you could find something to move you up the tracks to the point of the accident.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would probably expedite our movement by a lot and not wear us all out completely.
Yeah, it's worth a shot to see what's there. But
Okay.
the mayor would tell you basically, this is where we usually pick up at this station here. And they come out, and that somewhere in this orange box. Oh, y'all can't see that orange box because it's on the GM layer. Let me sort that for you.
Yeah, I made a line for
Yeah,
the track.
you got the
It's
the
that
track.
direction, right?
Let me move this to the token layer so y'all can actually see it. Token layer. There you go. Yeah, so that orange box, the accident happened somewhere just south of Oberlin Station.
Okay.
They said, look for the radio tower.
The one concern with a handcart is that presumably the train was plowing the snow as it was moving, and a handcart would not have a plow.
Yeah, because they came north to south, so they were passing this direction down.
Well,
Worst case scenario, we try, right? It can't hurt. It's not that. It's really not that far away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's make haste then. I have to head to this dugout inn as soon as possible. So the sooner we get this done, the better.
So it's about midday. It's going to take you 24 hours of travel to this next location. You're welcome to stay here for the night, or y'all can stay for the rest of the day and head out in the morning, or y'all can cut it today and try and basically risk traveling through the evening. It's up to you.
Grant ain't in no rush. I'll wait till tomorrow.
I was about to say,
if he's letting us stay.
Grant is not going to be allowed to stay after dark. He can't stay in the city after dark.
Can I get a charge?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of the reason that I had to go was because I'm running out of battery life.
He says, for your kindnesses, and he kind of signs a piece of paper, and he says, you're all welcome to stay for 24 hours, but you have to be out in the morning. And you have to pay for your hotel and your food. Not complimentary.
Grant looks absolutely fucking baffled. Not only you're not going to guarantee me entry to the city, but tonight I'm not allowed to stay as well. And anything they're going to do, they have to pay.
No, he says tonight and only tonight you can stay. Though I promise you no safety while you're in our walls.
How about this? You give me what you're going to give them, and I don't do the smart thing and turn this food over to the raiders. Next time you're going to deal with the ghoul who's not allowed in the city, you should probably get them to go do the thing you want them to do first before telling them all the things you're not going to give them afterward.
It's pretty well known here in the Commonwealth that ghouls are not allowed inside the city. So I already broke one rule, and I'm gonna let you stay tonight. So that's 2 rules. And he starts kind of sweating, like he's getting indigestion at the idea of a ghoul staying inside the city for the night.
I'm gonna not like an intimidating way. I'll take a step out and I'll reach into my pocket and I'll like accidentally show I'm carrying. It's part of my inventory from character creation. I have 1 jet on me, and I'll be like, oh, sorry. Oh, I'll put that back in my pocket. Listen. And I just want to try to barter check this guy, basically, to see if I can at least, like, fucking fiddle my way into some sort of normal amount of
payment.
Night staying or whatever.
So
and then
bartering is about
to, like,
transactional. So I will. So use the jet first because it ups your intelligence.
Oh, no, I was just trying to show it, like, because he mentioned something about jet earlier in the conversation that I banked. So
he did.
I'm trying to see if it makes him sweat more, seeing it makes him want it. I'm trying to find out.
Oh,
like,
you want to learn a little something about him.
Yeah, I just want to like, sorry, didn't mean to.
Go ahead and roll that barter charisma check. In this case, I'm not going to give you a difficulty. I'm just going to see how many successes you roll, and I will tell you why when we get there.
Dice.
Hey, 2 successes. Yeah, okay. I'm going to let you bank one of them because you really only needed 1 success. He has a rather large distaste when he sees the chems.
Yeah.
But added 2. I will say this. You know how when somebody has a feeling about somebody else, but they project it on you because you wore the same shirt or you did something? Sure. You're a ghoul standing there with Jet, and he has feelings about it. He has serious feelings about it. And they're not your fault, right? That's not your trauma. You didn't put it there, but it's there. And there seems to be something about you, Ghoul, Jet, in his office being sassy that is too much for him to be able to handle. And he says, fine. I'll up your pay. 150 caps for the group. You all gain citizenship. And you only gain full citizenship when you return with food for Diamond City.
And the 6 guys outside.
Everybody can come in. I'll open the gates of Diamond City. Hell, I'll even let them build a shanty town out front. Deal?
See, now I don't believe you.
Deal.
Okay, deal. He says, write it down, and he like looks at his secretary, and she's like, okay, click on a typewriter or whatever. And he kind of signs it. And he says, I can't believe it just allowed a ghoul to just once you return. And he says, you can stay the night, but be out in the morning, and I'll have some supplies waiting on you, because I'm nice like that.
Nicest mayor I ever met.
He's not a nice man. And he says, now get out of my office. You're giving me heartburn.
He leaves. He just goes to Mason. Only mayor I ever met.
Hopefully it remains that way, Grant.
Right.
And does he hear you say that out loud? The only mayor I ever met? Does he?
No, I said that quietly, but I imagine fucking Mason with no volume control is just like
what did you say, Mason?
See, they hear what he said. Yeah.
Hopefully it remains that way, Grant.
Yeah, he just said hopefully it remains that way, Grant.
Great. So I didn't give it away. Okay.
No.
You take the elevator down. You have a permission slip, in essence, to be in Diamond City for 24, basically until the sun turns around and re-rises tomorrow. Then you all have to earn the right to stay. The rioting and the group of people out front will continue to plague the security throughout the night. Some of them will start some fires and some small tent sites, but it's by no means a shanty town, like a proper place to sleep. It's just a cold brick plaza. But tonight, you all get to enjoy all that Diamond City has to offer. And boy, howdy, let me tell you, Diamond City has a lot to offer. As you drop down and enter the actual Diamond City part of this. The entirety of the baseball field, the actual field itself, has been refurbished into a functioning town. At the center of it, literally where the pitcher's mound would be, is now a noodle shop. It is run by a Mr. Handy. All around that kind of centralized portion of the noodle shop are additional places. There's a weapons place. There's this, and that. You go farther out, there's places to sleep. There's places to eat. There is all kinds of stuff. And as each of you maybe depart to find your way, we're going to take a quick break right here. I saw Mathas got up because I got to pee too. Because it is 6 o'clock, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Hey, no worries. We're going to actually break. You just missed me saying that, Mathas. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back to find out what trouble you'll all find in Diamond City. And I'll pull up our Diamond City map so you can actually take a look.
Hell yeah.
All right, gang. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Hold tight. Stand by. Hey, we're back, everybody. No sound issues this time. Welcome back from your break. I hope you refreshed, you hydrated.
Don't jinx us.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
Everybody in the Wasteland doesn't get to do any of those things. If you don't know, you can tip. It makes things difficult for these players. I don't know how yet, but but it will. Can promise. Yeah. Let's dive in. You made it to Diamond City. The mayor is sus. Surprise, fucking surprise. But he has promised you potential citizenship, which is kind of huge, actually, considering the fact that there's 50 people or so standing on their doorstep in a riotous state that are not allowed in. You've been given free reign for 24 hours until you return with the information and or food, ideally, that the mayor said is now missing because of this attacked train. I have put on this screen, and for those of you in Roll20, some pictures of what Diamond City actually looks like. This is straight from the game. This, of course, is covered in snow. It's not this pretty. The skies are not that blue. They're more like of a purple, dreary, hazy color. And the main walk paths have kind of been are now slush because they've been walked quite a lot. But there are a lot of people here in Diamond City. In fact, Diamond City is probably one of the largest settlements in all of the Commonwealth. They consider Diamond City to be somewhere between, at any given point, 700 to 900 settlers strong. So very, very populated. Very strong defenses. Though you can see from the look of people, the outlook here in town is a bit, the citizen outlook is a bit grim. People have that look of just waiting for oncoming death to take them. And as you walk in, you actually do walk down this core path. This is the flight of stairs that lead you straight to the center of town. This is your noodle stand. And the one above it gives you a bird's eye view. And you can see everything's built kind of in a circular way, with roads running in between each circle until you get to the stands. This is the stands here. And the stands, they are for the wealthy. And the disparity gap here is evident. You have people with little to no clothes on who are literally freezing. You can see they're frostbitten. And then right next to them is somebody like buying food at a high price because they can.
We don't see that, Dot.
Y'all don't see what I see?
No, I'm watching stream versus what we can see in game, and we can't see that.
Okay, I will reload you.
Oh, I can see.
In Roll20?
Unless my
see
Roll20
Diamond
busted.
City.
I was about to say, maybe it's your Roll20.
Yeah, I can see it.
I don't see.
Oh,
I
no,
see
yeah.
two
I
different
reloaded. It works
images.
now. You should
Okay,
reload.
cool. I was like, I'm not
Oh, reload,
crazy,
okay.
am I? Yeah, maybe a refresh.
Yeah, I see it.
But yeah, the stands here are for the wealthy, and the disparity across the city and the people walking, like I said, is very evident. There is a high class and a low class, and it seems that the current weather and situation has only stretched the divide between them. I can give you a list of shops or whatever, but where do you want to go? Are you just looking to ride out the night, or are you wanting to
I sent you
actually...
a message on Discord.
Oh, I should open that. Here, let me do it on my phone. Let me do it on my phone.
I am looking for my husband.
I would like to go to the Dugout Inn.
Okay. Let me
Have fun with that.
see
Fuck
about
this
this
guy.
Discord message. It looks like we might have a little bit split a party. That's cool.
You don't have to go to me. I don't need to role play any of that.
Was the Dugout in the Children of BenthamPlays, or was it the Children of Bantam and
I think both.
Minutemen
Or
place?
Minutemen. I think they're both in that
The
area.
Minutemen.
Then I'm going there too, but for different reasons.
Well, as soon as you actually step inside and you get out of all of the people, Maggie, Kalita notices that dog meat does pick up on the scent again. Like you can see the tail point up in the air and the nose kind of jut forward. And surprisingly enough, it leads you straight to the door of the Dugout Inn.
Interesting.
Mason, what are you doing? Because I got a little something for
Sure.
for Grant. Are you with Grant, or are you? There is in fact a barber shop. I believe in town. It is called. Oh, maybe it's not open yet because that's fresh meat. Oh, it's not. There is a spot, but currently there is not a proper. There's not a proper barber. You can see where there's a space for one, but it's all boarded up, and it's actually sits
mayor
between
lied.
It sits between the Mega Surgery Center and the Chemi Care, and you see that there's a possibility that this Mega Surgery Center is probably what they consider the barber, right? But he's really a surgeon, not a barber by trade. That's very evident by everybody's haircut in this town.
Mason needed a few things. He needed a charge. He needs his tools sharpened.
Okay.
And he needs, I guess since there's no barber.
Oh, no, I lied to you. I totally did right here. Kathy and John's Super Salon.
Oh.
I'll go there for sure.
Kathy and John.
Okay.
Already there.
Doesn't quite have a ring like Mason's Marvelous Main Maintenance.
I don't know.
We'll go
Kathy and John's Super Salon's kind of flashy.
That is flashy too.
Mason, you're able to run by. You see all kinds of stores here, right? There's a weapons place, there's a chem place, but Diamond City Surplus probably has a spare battery or will give you a charge. In fact, there is another Mr. Handy that works the night shift at Diamond City Surplus. As you go around, you notice things like there's a place called Swatters, which seems to only be baseball memorabilia. It's a specialty shop. There's Fallon's Basement, which is a clothing place. Power Noodles, of course, and it seems that there's a fresh chop house as well called Choice Chops. But as you scutter around, you get your charge, you get your weapons, we'll say sharpened at the Commonwealth Weaponry, and you end at Kathy and John's Super Salon. Are you going in here for any particular reason?
I think he needs to see what a shop is supposed to run like. Since it's been, like 200 years since he's been in a shop.
Well, to your surprise, some things never change. Chair, mirror, tools. It's pretty standard. Kathy and John are in there, and as you walk down into it. As you walk down into it, and you see a single chair. It's empty. It looks like they haven't had a customer in weeks. It kind of feels like your barber shop that you left. But there's tons of hair to be cut in this town. So again, the math doesn't maybe add up for your computing. But you're greeted warmly until they realize you have no hair. Kathy's like, "Oh, it's a customer." Oh.
I've come to witness the finest barbery in the land.
She goes. She just leans back and she yells, "John, somebody's here about barbering." John comes out, stout fellow. He wears a little apron. He probably has like his tools, scissors and such in it. He does not have multiple limbs like you do.
Salutations, Mr. John.
Yeah, that's me, John. I can't cut your hair, son. You ain't got none.
That is correct. I lack particular follicle finesse, but I've come to see the finest barbery in town. to witness state-of-the-art grooming stations and the implements that go at hand.
Well, you ain't gonna see much happening here. We ain't cut nobody's hair in weeks. Everybody's starving. Nobody gives a fuck about their hair.
I have a quick question for
Yeah?
Mr. Mason. You have a mustache on, you said?
Yeah.
Is it attached to something that when you talk, it wiggles to give you some sort of like, or is it dead? Does it just stay dead?
It just stays. It
Okay,
stays.
cool. I needed to picture. Continue.
Sure.
Then I suppose it would be safe to assume that you are not hiring for any intern positions or other.
Hiring? No, I ain't. Wait. You got any ideas on how to get customers through the door when they're hungry? To get their haircuts?
I've never created a hairstyle that has inspired a lack of hunger. But I suppose I could begin the brainstorming process.
He goes, how about this? People prioritize food over fashion. You know what I'm saying? He says, so you think of a way to get people in the door to get their haircut, and I'll give you a job.
Very well.
He goes, maybe you could just start with making sure everybody has enough food so they can care about fashion again.
Thank you, Mr. John, and...
What was it? Susan? Sally?
Kathy.
Kathy.
the basic names, Kathy and John's super salon.
What do his tools look like?
He has some scissors. I would say that most of his tools actually look similar to tools that you might use because they are repurposed from your time, right?
Sure.
Maybe a little bit of a rusty edge on a shave razor and those kinds of things. But he does have a mirror up. The chair is well worn, kind of disgusting and stained. But yeah, it seems like nobody is coming in here. Nobody's getting their hair cut. Even with 700 people in one city, like, nobody gives a fuck about their hair right now because they have no food.
Perhaps I should take a bit of an entrepreneurial approach. I'll speak to my cohort. It's off to see Grant. Good day to you both.
Bye. They both kind of like wave as you like, this Mr. Handy just floats in, inquires about the business, and floats out.
Yep.
And as you go out to acquire with your acquaintance, in fact, yeah, that acquaintance is busy doing a few other things around town. Grant, do you check out the noodle stand before you go?
I would. Yeah, I would definitely check it out before. Like, I wouldn't just do that. That wouldn't take more than a couple hours, I imagine.
Not even, because there is one thing served at the noodle stand.
Noodles.
One kind of way. And the Mr. Handy, in fact, that is the chef and the server, only says one word, which is noodles, in Japanese. It's
Grant walks over and plops down a couple hours later, I imagine. That's the first place he would go.
Bowl of noodles is basically all you get out of this guy. But they're a decent bowl of noodles. They are hot broth noodles.
That's probably better than I've had in years, honestly.
It's why everybody talks about the noodles in Diamond City. There, we got fucking noodles, man.
Does Mason like putter up at some point?
Actually, I'm thinking while you're having this hot broth of noodles is when you get this grand idea. You can hear the people outside, right?
Yeah.
You're enjoying a warm bowl of noodles, and these fucking people can't even get in the door because of this guy upstairs in a bad tweed suit.
I'll probably like finish my last slip, but I'm like, now that was noodles.
The robot goes,
I have an idea.
Noodles.
I don't understand Japanese. I get up. I imagine there's like a bill of like a few caps that I owe.
You leave a couple caps behind. He says noodles in response. Thanks you. And he scoops the caps and goes back to serving noodles. And
I wave at him like konnichiwa. Bye bye.
Yeah. As you actually walk Diamond City, it's probably because you're really out and about. You get to see the disparity of the worst. Like the area in which, 50, 60, or 70 people just sleep on the ground where it's moist and wet and frozen.
And I imagine those who are working booths don't look at me very often. They try to avoid eye contact.
Right, a lot of people, everybody tries to avoid eye contact with you because some people might even whisper. But the people in the stands, they treat you like the mayor did. They definitely don't look at you. They treat you like you are super not supposed to be here. And as you make your loop all the way back around to the front entrance, you have a little bit of a of an itch to call it, a light bulb, to some mischievousness. So I'm just going to let you make a speech charisma check to begin these rumors.
Sure. Let me open my character sheet again. Sorry, I refreshed it as well.
Oh, that's okay. No worries.
Mm-hmm. All right. Just a regular. What is it? Speech, you said?
Yes.
Speech charisma. Yeah, I'll stick with that. Oh, double failure. Can I use a luck point and reroll?
You sure can. You can use a luck point, reroll one of those d20 to see if you get a success. You need under 12. Man, you were very close. Should have asked you if you wanted to use AP.
So that's the party pool?
That's the party pool.
Yeah.
Usually you do that before you make the roll because it adds to the. It's the difference between
gotcha.
rousing the blood and using willpower.
So if I want to reroll, like how many d20 am I rolling? 2? So if I want to
just roll
reroll both,
one.
I need to roll.
So
okay.
2 luck will get you 1 for each failure, or you can just roll 1 of the 2d20 basically. Hey, we'll take the first one. A success. So, a 6, that does do it. So you get 1 success. Tell me, how do you begin spreading this rumor? What do you say?
It's more like Grant kind of just like gratiates himself into the fucking crowd, and if he hears a conversation or whether he kind of weasels the way in, like kind of interrupts and naturally. Oh yeah, like this is fucking insane. You know what I heard actually though, and this is like I'll go over. I saw the guy on the ground, I'll come up with a story, and then I'll just be like, why are we waiting for these fuckers to give us any sort of like approval to give us our own basic human needs? Fuck them. I say we do it ourselves. And I just like kind of spread that around
As you
while
begin
giving them the
walking about,
location.
a lot of people are like, yeah, what that guy said, or somebody's like, oh, that must have been what that security guard was getting his ass kicked today, man.
I'll be like, that's exactly right.
Yeah, and you kind of seed some discontent, not just outside the gate, but now inside the city, where things were very peaceful. And maybe
the breaks.
And maybe you're feeling good about yourself. Maybe you're heading back for a second bowl of noodles.
Yep, noodle round number 2.
The camera's following you, but stops as you continue walking back to the noodle stand for second noodle. It stops right in front of the Dugout Inn, which is just what it sounds like. This is the dugout of the ball field that has been repurposed into an inn. You actually walk down to get into the door, and as you push the door, the 3 of you push the door open, Dogmeat in tow, who leads you straight here, Kalita. The sound of the inn is in a riotous state, almost like it was outside, except there's an active fight going on. On one half of the bar stands individuals that look very similar to Sister Delilah. And by that, I mean they have the bleached hair from radiation. Their skin takes on a similar jaundiced tone. And on the other side stands a group of people you may never have seen before, but they all very clearly match. Mortimer, you would know these as Minutemen. They have the porty tricorn hats, these kind of blue jackets and such, and they all carry those specialized pistols, those laser weapons. And though they are not throwing punches, we're getting to the point where like the name calling is happening. And all it's going to take is like one wrong word, but you walk into a standoff.
I think Kalita scratches Dogmeat's head and is like, are you sure it's got to be inside? He's got to be in there? Why do I keep finding myself in these situations?
He looks at you like, yeah, he was here.
Takes a step forward. Do I see Mortimer and Sister Delilah?
They're right behind you. All 3 of you came to the same place.
Oh, okay.
I think we were walking together.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I will not step in first.
I think like I'm like sauntering in. I see this and I stop in my tracks and I just like look between the 2 groups and I just crack my knuckles.
I take a moment to listen as to what the discussion is.
Okay.
And I'm looking to see if I can see my husband.
You immediately look around. You do not see your husband. You see the 2 men who tend the bar, probably brothers, kind of big, dark features, 5 o'clock shadow, but they seem like they could be related. And they have kind of pushed back at the bar to stay out of the way of this. You can tell tables have kind of been pushed back, and the few customers, actually, other customers that are in here are already taking themselves into their rooms. You can see doors being closed and locked. You can hear them upstairs closing and locking. You all basically walked in at the peak of the moment where shit could go south, but you don't see your husband. There is a server. She's kind of off in the corner. Yeah. But you can see that they're kind of yelling at each other, and you hear one of the Minutemen go, "You tried to steal money from us. You're not as divine as you think you are. You're just a more scum of the wasteland." They're kind of pointing at them, and the children of Adam do not respond in the same kind of confrontation, but you can tell they're extremely inebriated. They don't point fingers. They don't pick the fight the same way like a bully. They do the very like, "We'll pray for you on that matter, won't we, brother? Oh yes, we'll pray for you." They're not poking. They're like slathering. It's that kind of vibe, and it's gonna escalate very quickly. Unless somebody makes themselves known, they don't care who the fuck you are. They are eyes on each other. There's kind of 3 or 4 of them on each side of the room.
I mean, I'm gonna make my way over to the children of Adam, and I'll approach them and be like, "Brethren, what seems to be the problem here?"
They turn almost surprised, and one of them goes, "Sister, you've come just in time to settle a debate for us."
Oh.
And they turn back to these Minutemen, and they actually look behind you. Do you make yourselves known? The other two that walked in.
I think my goal is to let Dogmeat sniff further into the building to figure out where my husband could have gone in here.
Dogmeat actually bypasses all of them, kind of sticks to the wall, and seems to go up the stairs like they were going to go into one of the rooms.
I'm following Dogmeat.
Up you kind of go, leaving you standing in the door once again, as always, Mortimer. Here you are standing in the door. Do you join them? Do you take a seat? What do you do?
Do I happen to recognize either of the Minutemen?
Oh, good question. I would say yes. There is a Minuteman here. This is Bryce, Bryce. Bryce.
Oh boy. Mortimer versus Sister Delilah. Go.
So do you step to the other side with the Minutemen?
I think I go Bryce, and then I walk over to their side.
Oh. Bryce looks surprised and goes,
"Oh boy.
Mortimer, please tell me you've come just in time to actually join our team? Or am I gonna have to ask again?"
Let's not be too hasty. I'm just passing through on business right now, but wouldn't want to get my knuckles wet. I'm sort of here on shaky grounds.
Oh, he kind of puts his arm around you. Us too. But you know what would be less shaky if you stand on this side of the line? He kind of puts you in line with them as they kind of face back off against the other side, which is these children of Adam. And this one says, "Tell us, what is your name?" To Sister Delilah, of course.
Sister Delilah, or Delilah, I would just say.
Delilah. Beautiful name. And you've come how far?
Oh, we've been traveling for days and days outside of Diamond City.
And why?
It's been about 2 weeks.
And what brings you here, Sister Delilah?
Well, I heard the news of the last son of Adam.
The good news of the last son of Adam. Do you hear that, boys? And he kind of looks across the line at the Minutemen. The good news of the last son of Adam. All the way from outside the city. now, Delilah, you can smell the inebriation on him.
Okay.
They have been drinking a lot.
Damn.
Yeah. And he turns to you and he says, "Thank you, Sister Delilah. In fact, boys, who are we to fight?" And he kind of looks at all of them like, "Let's get another drink."
Might I ask what your take is on this good news, fellow children?
Oh, well, it is the best of news. It is the best news we can receive. We are here gathering more loyal followers for his flock. We have been collecting and worshipping at the nearby chapel.
And has the last son of Adam made himself known in the city yet?
Oh, no. The last son of Adam would not dare soil his feet by stepping on the grounds of Diamond City. That is our disciples' job.
Oh. Then who is it that sent the message?
Oh, we delivered a holotape, recorded by the last son of Adam himself.
I see.
But he is amassing a flock in the glowing sea. You should join us for our pilgrimage. You've never heard of this place before. The glowing sea.
Yeah. No questions asked. Hell yeah. No. Where is this glowing sea? Is it in the city?
Oh, no. It is far south. It is said to be the Holy Land, filled with Adam's glow at all hours of the day.
I see. Well, I would be keen to learn more of this pilgrimage.
She says, "I would be happy to teach you. I am Shoeshine Parker." This woman seems to be dressed in nicer clothing than you. She doesn't look like she's survived the wasteland for 2 weeks. And she says, "I too am a recent convert to the Church of Adam. Thanks to Adam's words, of course, the last of Adam's words. I'm sure. Would you like a pamphlet?" And she kind of reaches into her side bag to pull a pamphlet, which is the exact same one you have. This is the first time you've ever seen anybody else with the same piece of paper as you. You thought you were special.
I've received such pamphlet as well. A week or so ago.
Good. Then his words are spreading.
Yes, it flew into my hands like it was a sign.
You've been chosen.
Perhaps I have.
Well, I'm so sorry that you had to witness such a disgraceful bickering. And this time she says that loud enough where Mortimer, you, and all of them can hear him say that. A disgraceful bickering. Unfortunately, one of, what is his name? One of Bryce's lackeys stole coin from our volunteer fund. It was meant to feed the hungry. I caught him with his hand in the cookie jar.
Oh, is this true? Did you steal from the church?
Bryce says, we did not steal from no church. They're not even a church. They've just moved into the church next door.
We are a congregation. We are the children of Adam.
Well, then congregate elsewhere. Please. He says. Mortimer, you can tell he's a little fed up with them. There's a possibility this has been going on for a while. It takes a lot to kind of offset the Minutemen out of peaceful negotiations, and the children of Adam have just rubbed them the wrong way.
I think I shepherd them away. I'm like, let's sit down. Let's sit down.
He goes, yeah, we don't even need this. We're gonna go get a drink. Church. And he kind of spits at the floor, and he turns and walks with his friends over to a table. And Mortimer, you go with them. A man steps up. He is one of the people who own this place. We'll probably say this is Yefim. Yefim Bobrov. He is, of course, a Russian gentleman, or has that kind of deep accent. And he kind of just steps up and he goes, "What do you want?"
I looked at us. What do they have?
Beer.
Beer.
And looks around at all the men. Like, and you can see he's frustrated with all of them. It's not a one side or the other. Like, they keep making his inn and bar a place for fighting. They're using it as their own ring, and it's causing issues with his business, right? It's running people out. It doesn't make it safe. And you can see there's like a stack of chairs that have already been broken from the past off in the corner. Like, he's got to replace those. It's the fucking wasteland. You don't just go to Home Goods. So, it's not that easy. So he kind of stomps over and begins getting beers together for the lot of you. And you can see that this gentleman is, your friend here, has not slept well. They all look a little tired, road worn. You don't know if they came straight to Diamond City, how long they've been here. But Bryce, and he's still got a black eye from the fight the night before. And Bryce just says, "How the fuck are you? I thought you was dead, cold popsicle. I hadn't heard from you in weeks."
I came a little bit close, but, may I pull through?
He kind of looks you up and down. He goes, "Just get in off the road."
Yep. We're allowed here for one night, and then we gotta clear out and run some errands.
Oh. For who? For who? What you doing?
The mayor.
You running errands for the mayor?
Yeah, it's the only way we're getting in, I guess. Keep it between us, and I, lean in. Something went wrong with a food shipment, so we're gonna head out and track it down.
He kind of looks over at the two of them, and he goes, since this storm rolled in, it seems like everything's about food. We just sent an encampment of Minutemen up the coast to the harbor. They say this big old ship washed inland, that the storm just pushed it in, crashed inland, and they got some kind of new food, grows in the wintertime.
Huh? Might be our saving grace.
Well, it seems a little too hooky, spooky hocus pocus for me. Very, we've got hope and all that. So we sit in an encampment. We're going to check it out. We hope to hear back from them in a few weeks. Maybe we found a better supply. Something that's really sustainable,
Best of luck to you. Yeah.
Well, since you're in, you seem to be interested in helping the mayor. You still don't want to come on board? You get a hat and a gun.
I'm not too proud to admit that the lone wolf thing is a little bit harder when, the going gets tough. I might have to compromise on my usual methods.
You know what? He reaches into his bag and he pulls out a flare gun. He says, that flare gun's got one flare in it. That flare... That's my auto cat feeder. That flare is a specific color. Blue. You need help. You fire that off. And I'll prove to you that the Minutemen will be there to have your back.
All right. Fair enough.
And if we're not, you know what? I buy the next round of beers, right? Or you're dead. And I apologize about that in advance. Okay, so that's it? You're just fucking rolling through here and you're doing favors for the mayor now?
It's what we gotta do to get in here. I was on a job, some guys outside, they're not allowed in until there's enough food for them, so...
Yeah, he's been kind of concerned about that. Seems food supplies are dwindling everywhere. They got a good neighbor locked up tight, too. Won't let nobody in. Full census, head count, and all that, too. Across the table, one of the younger Minutemen, very clearly, he wants to be cool, in on the conversation. And he goes, if I was out there in the wasteland, I would go see the Mirage. That's where it's really happening. And they, turn down the table to this kid, what the fuck are you talking about? And kind of smacks him upside the head. Don't say stupid shit, dude. He's like, it's cool. Gambling and all that. I'd want to see the Mirage.
Do I know what the Mirage is?
You've been around long enough. Yeah, it is rumored that the Mirage is just that. You only ever see it on the horizon, but it is a walking fortress that is said to be a casino. The life of luxury on wheels, and it's massive, multi-storied, and it's pulled by a herd of Brahmin.
I think it's seeing Mirages in a blizzard, then things have gone really wrong for you.
Funny guy. Funny guy. He's trying to make up for the fact they think he's really stupid and he should not have hinted at it. But the conversation kind of continues, and he goes, well, you know what? Drinks are on me anyways, because, if you're doing favors for the mayor, you're bound to get fucked. Ha! And he starts sliding drinks down the table. And the camera cuts to the other side of the room, where a very different situation is happening. The other brother, not Vadim, I think is the other brother. Correct. Comes in, comes over, same kind of gruff look. He also seems pretty fed up, but is a bit more cheerful. And he says, let me guess, another round? All the children of Adam are like, hell yeah, let's kill our bodies. That's what we're all about. Cool. And they scutter off, refilling drinks, and brings them back. And this woman, Shoeshine Parker, she says, tell me your story, child. How did you come to hear of the last son of Adam?
Well, it was in my family. They too were the children of Adam, and I was raised. Our confessor, he told us the stories of Adam, and we, ever since then, came to be. It's something of coming from the south, city Megaton.
No, then you have come a long way.
Yes, that's where my family comes, at least. But
well, you have a new family now. A family in us. All the children of Adam.
It makes me happy to see other children of Adam. I've not seen any of you in the Commonwealth at all, really.
You can tell that they maybe not Shoeshine Parker, because she's actually native to Diamond City. She's a convert, but the other one sitting with her, they wear strange clothing. They've repurposed colanders and metal strainers for shoulder pieces. One of them is made a tinfoil hat. They seem to be a little weird and quirky. All of which is just an extra radio beacon for radiation, in essence. And she says, yes, I have brought many from Diamond City into the fold. Many of the flock have already begun the journey southward to the glowing sea. Did you hear the radio broadcast? The last son of Adam talked about the day of division.
Yes.
Soon it will happen.
When do you all leave for this pilgrimage?
We plan to leave in a few days, but don't tell them. And she gestures across the way. She said, they are trying to kick us out of the inn. And, well, we're not quite ready yet. We have a small other problem we're dealing with.
Other problem?
Well, it seems that there's blasphemy in Diamond City.
There's blasphemy everywhere.
As true
Many
as this
are
may
lost
be,
children.
I am sorry to say that they have put a cleanser on the water filter to filter out the radiation from the local water supply. It has been our mission since we arrived to assure that it is destroyed and taken away so that Adam's glow can flow freely through all the water that we consume here in Diamond City. It is right for us, and it is the holy thing to do. Unfortunately, the keeper of the water supply is difficult to communicate with.
I see.
You seem to have a way about you. Maybe you could speak with him.
Perhaps I can. It would be important for us to
look. We can leave as soon as tomorrow, as long as the water purifier is destroyed.
Yes. The glow must flow.
The glow.
As as they say.
I don't know how you guys recruit so successfully. Go join us. The glow must flow.
It's because we have good
And
t-shirt
they got like
slogans.
tin foil hats on and
I was trying so hard to keep it together.
Me too. Okay. She says, yes, the glow must flow, Sister Delilah. And I have never had the great joy of tasking anyone with a other than myself, of course, with the work of Adam, but it would mean so much to us, and it would allow us to get on our pilgrimage faster, for he calls all the disciples to the glowing sea.
Yes. Unfortunately, I have been tasked by the mayor of this lovely city to
He is a putz.
Indeed. But in order to keep my stay here in the city for at least some time, the group I arrived with, we must check the caravan, or not caravan, the train yards nearby to make sure the food supplies was coming to the city. So,
Yes.
yes.
Unfortunately, we are not perfect in Adam's eyes yet, for we still must consume food, not just his glow. So I believe in your mission, and I understand that it is just as important as assuring that the water is no longer purified for all lips in Diamond City. When you are ready, we will be in the chapel next door. You are welcome any time, Sister Delilah, though I encourage you to find better company. And she looks across the way, back at Mortimer.
Thank you. Shoeshine, was it? Shoeshine?
Yeah, Shoeshine Parker. You can call
What
her
a name.
Sister Shoeshine Parker.
Thank you, sister. I hope to see you all soon after this small task. And if I find any others, I will be sure to send them your way.
Yes. Thank you, sister. And be careful. The keeper of the water supply is tricky.
I will.
And she gets up and she says, we're going to go to our room now, where we are also planning to stay the full night in Diamond City, to assure that the Minutemen on the other side know that they are not leaving the inn. And they go upstairs to their room, leaving Delilah alone at the table.
May the grace of Adam be with you. Great Adam's glow be with you.
Yes, Adam's glow with you too. May the glow flow freely. Mortimer, while this conversation has been happening, is there anything that you are particularly looking for from this group of people?
I think I asked them about the situation. I'm like, so these atom people, they've been causing a lot of trouble recently, right?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. They've become forward. Bryce says.
No,
He says real forward. Like propaganda and flyers everywhere. It's the strangest thing, and it's hard for us to fight it because he promises food and shelter, and we can barely provide food for our own men.
Yeah, my friend over there, Delilah, she's been traveling with our group, and she will not shut up about all of the Atom's provisions and blessings. And
Oh, yeah, Adam's glow. Look. For whatever reason, they worship radiation. They have this deep-seated belief that every time, a bomb goes off or massive radiation exposure, and scientifically speaking, our atoms split, that we in essence they are creating another universe. Adam's glow. It's just radiation poisoning, man.
yeah, it just kills people. Crazy.
Yeah. But they super believe it, and the fact of the matter is, and I hate to be honest about it, but they're converting quite a lot of people. That's why we came here, as we had heard that a lot of people were leaving Diamond City and making the dangerous trek all the way to the Glowing Sea. Hey, nobody goes to nobody's like, oh, today I'm gonna take a trip to the Glowing Sea. It's called that for a reason. And they're converting all these people, and some people are just disappearing. Heard from another group, right? Out there, people just don't come back. Sometimes they find their bodies frozen, sometimes they don't. Can't get
Yeah, I
into
hear they're
good
planning
neighbor.
some kind of some kind of big pilgrimage, and Delilah was going
they-
on about it. They all want to head out, which, I mean, problem will solve itself, but not so
Yeah.
great if anyone you know has decided that actually radiation is great for you.
You got a radio?
I don't think I do.
You don't, but you got
Friend of
somebody
mine.
that does. He goes,
Friend of mine, she came through earlier. She's got one of them, fancy wrist things.
look, I'm just saying,
ones.
if you get out of Diamond City, right, and you headed back, southeast, tune into KOOL radio. It's what we're listening to at the fort right now with the Minutemen. There's this band, right? But really, the DJ, he seems to have all the information that you could possibly want about these children of Adam and this last son of Adam. He's, I guess he's spouting anti-propaganda, you might say. Spouting the truth about what's happening in the way out wasteland. That's what he says.
All right, I'll keep an ear out for it, I guess. It'll make better listening at night at camp than more droning on about
Look, I
infinite food that happens to be just around the corner. We'll have it any second, guys.
Well, we're trying. I'm telling you. It washed up on shore. Anyways, just be careful with your friend, right? I'm not saying all the children of Adam are bad. In fact, I ain't got nothing really against the children of Adam. I just don't like them in particular. Like the last son of Adam, he did.
Yeah, I guess he's whipping him up into a frenzy, making him more trouble.
Yeah.
Well, I'll try and keep my one in check, and
We'll try to
Keep
keep
it from
them in check.
converting anybody.
And he says, yeah, and at this point, just kind of like yelling. He goes, well, we're not leaving neither. We're staying down here. Kind of yells back in a childish way. You can see Delilah now
maybe
sits alone.
try and persuade him to go on that pilgrimage already.
Oh.
Tell me you heard something on the airwaves or whatever. I don't know. Whatever gets him out of here.
They don't seem to want to go anywhere until we destroy the fucking, what's it called? And he looks down the table to a gentleman, with some glasses, and he's a bit older, and he says, the water purifier, sir. Yeah, the water purifier. We have to destroy it. They're all upset because we're cleaning the water.
Oh, okay.
You think they just pick the fight and go home.
Well, they want to break that before they leave.
Yeah, it's like they've been talking to everybody around town, putting up flyers, trying to get people to sign petitions that we need to stop cleaning the water supply.
I don't know. Tell him you turned it off or something, maybe.
Well, why would we do that? We're not actually.
Well, just
gonna
tell
do
him.
that.
Just lie to him. They're obviously pretty gullible anyway.
Can we do that, Sarge? And he looks down the table at the older gentleman like, can we lie to him, Sarge? He's like, it is not in our way to lie. We are Minutemen, of course. But you, on the other hand,
It's their whole ass way. What do you mean?
You have not taken the pledge. You can lie to them.
Oh.
You could.
Oh,
Convince
okay.
them we have turned
It's
it
very
off.
different and very noble if you tell me to do it. I'll see what I can do.
At this point, you see they've roped you into something on the side. And when they get up to leave, they try to copy them, right? To not be one up. It's like, we're going to our bedrooms too. And they kind of get up and push their chairs back and all chug their beers down. Leaving you sitting at one table, Mortimer, and across the way, Delilah.
As they head out, I'm like, try not to get your teeth knocked out.
Teeth aren't good for nothing. Everything's squishy in the wasteland. And off they go. You hear doors like slam, 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 slam all over the place. Everybody's like slamming doors at each other because they're mad. And finally, the dugout inn kind of falls to pieces. Like the two of you are all that's left. There's tipped over chairs. There's broken glass. And the two Vadim brothers are, Vadim and Yefim are actively beginning to clean for the night. Along with Scarlet, who is their waitress. Yes, Scarlet, I believe is her name. But the camera cuts to Grant eating a bowl of noodles. They're just as good as the first set. And out walks Mason.
Hey, you got legs.
Yeah, walks Mason.
News to me, too.
Just fucking tenties.
I see that you found the noodles.
I've had 2 of them so far.
Are they that good?
They are noodles.
Very good. And air is air. This we can appreciate.
Wait a minute. we can appreciate.
I like to feel like I'm amidst one of my own. I try to blend in. Besides, I need air to burn. How do you think I float?
Right. Do me a favor. Just describe to me what breathing is like.
I imagine it's for me or for you, Grant.
Oh, no. You said you breathe. I'm just wondering what it feels like. Tell me all about it.
It's what I would imagine like being alive is. I can't quite explain it. Some things are best left undiscovered and unknown, especially for me.
I always love it when I get you to stop using big words.
Even you leave me befuddled occasionally, Grant.
Where's everybody?
I don't know. Which is why I've come to you. I figured I would find you here.
Well, I'm on about to have like my 4th bowl of noodles.
Well,
This guy, listen to him. Actually, listen. Do you understand what he's saying? Hey, it's like your cousin. Oh, hey, you know this guy? I point to the Mr. Handy serving noodles.
Noodles.
You know Noodles?
Noodles.
Is his name Noodles?
Noodles.
He's saying noodles, Grant.
Do I see a budding romance before my very eyes?
Only if it were
Noodles.
between you and I, Grant.
Noodles.
Oh, was that a saucy noodle?
Saying it
Noodles.
rather sultry. I don't believe I like that.
Should I leave the two of you alone? And Grant like stands up like he's gonna leave.
No, please, I do not consent.
And as the two of you have this noodle, Mr. Handy and a ghoul share noodles in the middle of Diamond City, the camera is actually now upstairs of the Dugout Inn, long before doors are slammed and people come up. Dog Meat leads you to a door. Up here, it is just that. It's like a walk path that leads into a series of rooms. It's just the inn part of the Dugout Inn. And leads you to one room in particular, door number 3. He seems to be sniffing under the door, though it is closed.
Are you sure it's this one?
And he kind of scratches a little at the door.
Seems strange to pick the number 3. And she knocks on the door.
No answer. You can hear kind of more rustling downstairs. There's a little bit of shouting and then whispering again, and drinks are being served. It seems like they're not like yelling, but they're having.
I
more
look
polite
over the
conversation.
ledge to see if like anyone's being hurt or harmed.
You look over the ledge and you see that the part they have taken tables, separate tables across the way, and Mortimer is sitting with one table, and Sister Delilah, of course, is sitting with the children of Adam, and they're in a dense conversation, each one of them. But nobody has noticed you've disappeared.
She tries to knock on the door again.
No answer.
I turn the knob. Is it locked?
It is technically locked, but this is not like a normal hotel keycard lock. Like, this is just if you wanted to try to pick it, you could.
Yeah, I'll try to lockpick. Oh, good thing I put points in lockpick. I did not think I did, so I
This
was
is not a
kind of
very
shocked.
difficult lock. This is a pretty base level lock. You only need one success. It uses a key.
Ooh, all
You
right.
can use a bobby pin or a basic lockpick set of tools. So you need one success. You are sitting on 4 AP.
Okay. I will lockpick. And yeah, I think she has her hair like in a little bun. She like takes it out, so her hair goes down, which I'm sure our Mr. Handy is going to want to cut.
The longest hair in the
And-
group, yeah.
Yeah, I think I do have the longest hair in the group.
Perfectly groomed vault hair, nonetheless.
One success.
Yeah, that's all you needed. You've never, I don't know, maybe you didn't even learn to lockpick until you had to get out in the wasteland. Once you left the vault, it was something you had to learn how to do.
Yeah, I don't think I did it in the vault, but I think
Like something you might have
Yeah,
picked up along the way from Mississippi.
yeah,
And for whatever reason.
out of necessity, like needing to get into buildings to try to find food or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Or an occasional safe you came across or something, a house. And so maybe it's just a reminder of all you've picked up over the couple months that you've been out looking for your husband. And the way Dog Meat kind of scratches at the ground tells you that you're really on to something. That excitement in your chest begins to build a little bit, and your hand shakes just ever so slightly. And you think back to all you've learned of picking doors, and you catch your breath, and you get it just right, and it clicks open. And the door swings into a very simple, quaint room. Single bed, probably like what would have been like an old hospital bed frame or one of those like folding cot type things. Like there's nothing fancy about this place. There's some baseball memorabilia on the wall, those kinds of things, because it's the dugout inn. But pretty standard. Bed, chest, chair in the corner, some kind of nightstand. And it does seem that this is maybe one of the children of Adam's rooms because their gear is in the corner, like their traveling kit is in the corner. And immediately Dogmeat goes over to the bed. Like he kind of bounds in and he kind of slides as he tucks his nose under the bed and he's like sniffing for something.
Like under the bed or on top?
Under it.
Oh, okay. Then Kalita will kind of like get on all fours and look underneath the ground.
As you
and I close the door, so like the door's just not open.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you close the door, and as you close the door, and you go over and you kind of look, you see Dogmeat has something in his mouth. It seems to be a shoe, like a boot.
What is it, boy? Let me see.
And you have to do that little bit, like, let it go, give it to me, with the dog.
Yeah,
and he finally, like, snatches it free, and it seems to be a boot. It is your husband's size, and it is a Vault-Tech issued left boot. But you only see the one.
Why would he leave just his boot behind?
Dogmeat sits there kind of staring at you like, I did it, I found the thing. And you, as you're kind of maybe talking with it, out from inside the boot flutters like a flyer or a piece of paper, something that's been printed. In fact, two things. Say maybe they're probably rolled or were folded up and tucked in the sole of the shoe or something.
I will open the two things up.
Yeah, the first one's a larger sheet of paper. It seems to be a wanted or a help one, a missing sign, the way you'd put it up for a missing dog. Except it's not for a dog, it's for a hat. I will show it to you, in fact. I'll actually put this one in chat later once I get the full thing. But it seems that there is a wanted sign. It's for caps, payment in caps, of course, for Hancock's missing hat. It looks like this. I found it.
Okay.
There's like a cap reward for a missing tricorn hat, and this piece of paper is like well used. He's clearly been hanging on to it a while. And the other thing that falls out seems to be like a double-sided flyer in some way or something like that. One of the sides is for a gambling den. It's the Mirage, right? And there's like palm trees and like, come to find the Mirage and all your dreams will come true. It's just a bullshit ad for people to keep looking for the Mirage. But the other side seems to be a poster of some kind. In fact, it seems to be a circus poster. You've probably never seen anything like this in your whole life. Come to Big Top. And you can tell that people that look like Grant, a whole bunch of ghouls, have taken up these personas. Madam Adam and, the Flying Sal's and Brawny Bill and the Inked Lady. And there are all these personalities of all of these ghouls. And in the middle is this ringleader, and he's kind of lashing a whip at a Protectron that has been dressed as a lion. And it seems to be this big commercial for Big Top, this circus place. And it seems that he was like collecting information on locations, maybe throughout the Commonwealth, or interesting ways in which he could make connections, find something, or at least make some money, because the hat call is just for caps. But you're assured that it is his boot, because on the inside tongue is his initials, something that you put there for him.
Okay. Well, this is his boot. Wonder what he's doing with his other boot. Probably got a cold foot. Wonder if he's found this hat. Maybe he's going to the circus. I guess we got to figure out where he went next. She looks down at
You do have his boot now, which might lead to a stronger scent.
Yeah.
Which is nice. And you have these kind of random like groupings of flyers that maybe he's just collected over time. And as you're kind of maybe finishing up looking at all of this, you hear the sound of feet coming up the stairs. The children of Adam are on their way. And you can hear them like yell back. Yeah. So to not be seen, you can roll a stealth check for me. I believe that is agility stealth. If I remember correctly, how it's set up.
Yeah, it is.
I'm gonna move this
not
back
the best
over.
at that, but we shall see. Ooh. I can use a luck reroll, right?
You can spend 1 luck and reroll 1 of those d20 for a success.
Okay. And then hold on. It's 1d20. And I don't get any bonuses to
You
that,
do
right?
not get any bonuses, just a flat d20. That will do
That's
it.
a success.
That is a success.
And then does Dogmeat also need to roll a stealth?
He can assist you in this roll. Basically, so just like that's how we'll always treat Dogmeat as an assist. He'll always be working with you. So if you
gotta switch us to the other scene.
Yep, I can surely do that. Let me switch us back. Eventually, I'll
We
get
don't
to
have
the
tokens
point.
on the scene.
Yep, like this one you do.
All right, clicking on the token and then hitting roll to assist.
Yep. So Dogmeat roll to a
is
stealth
agility.
Yep, agility stealth, or however it's set up.
Stealth. Or
So
sneak.
you
I think
have
is what it's
1
called.
success. Oh, complication.
Oh my god, no.
All right.
Dogmeat.
Okay, well,
Dogmeat has rerolls.
if you want to use one of his luck, you can.
Yeah.
You can't on an assist. Only if it was his roll. It's an assist roll. So they come up the stairs and you come out just in time, get the door closed, and as you turn around, the 3 of these children of Adam are staring at you. They did not see you exit the room, but you are in the hallway of rooms. I will say you only needed 1 success to successfully not be in the room, which you did. And the complication here is that Dogmeat comes out of the room and takes a big steaming pile of poop a dump right out front of the door, like a dog is wont to do, which assures that they did not think you were up to anything other than following your dog to take a dump. But you have drawn attention to yourself in a stealthy-esque type way, so they know you're here, and the 3 children of Adam go, you should clean that up.
Right. You have something I could clean it up with?
They kind of look at each other. They are wearing literal rags for clothing. Any part of their clothing could be used to clean up this dog poop. But they clearly look at you and they say, no.
Neither do I. And just walks past them.
Oh, and you leave the poop outside their door?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you get away. They did not know you were in the room. You leave a sour look on their face as well as you come down the stairs. They go into their room, and about the time you're down, the Minutemen across the way also take to their rooms. It seems that it's constant competition between the 2 groups, and now the 3 of you with Dogmeat in tow stand in the bottom of the dugout. Do you want to go find the rest of the crew? What is the plan for the evening?
How much does it cost to stay here?
That's a great
If
question.
there's availability.
There is not. It's full up. They have six rooms. All 6 are currently taken. 3 by Children of Adam, 3 by Minutemen.
Figures.
They're all
I think
aggressively snoring at each other from across the hall. Who can snore the loudest?
Really
comfy.
And you can, it is still daylight. The sun is only beginning to go down. It's pretty early in the evening. And if you do head back into the center of town, you can't miss Mason and Grant sitting there enjoying probably another bowl of noodles.
Yeah, I imagine we like regroup and I'm like, let's reconvene with the others. And then as we start walking, I'm like, so, Delilah, you heard anything about this water filtration thing?
Oh, yes. The other children of Adam brought it up to me. It seems that they seem to be wanting to hinder that which is Adam's glow from the water supply.
And what is it? They want to get that thing removed, get that squared away before they head out on their pilgrimage?
Yes, it is an affront that they would even consider wanting to remove something that restores all of us.
You mean remove the radiation from the water?
Yes.
But that's how we drink the water. It's to filter out the radiation.
The radiation is water of life.
Well, you should talk to your little friend. What's his name again? Grant? Because that's what you're going to end up looking like if you keep drinking that stuff.
Perhaps Grant is one that has achieved a closer look at enlightenment than all of us.
I think you need to rethink your thoughts.
As you walk out, I think you need to rethink
That
your
when she
thoughts.
walks by, and I'm just like,
There's Grant.
you fucking hear that, Mason? You hear that shit?
Well, of course I did, Grant.
They say never, do what you do with crazy, but maybe just this once.
Perhaps you too can find your way into a mate.
Maybe I could be the last, maybe I'm like the last nephew of Adam.
Could be. I wonder if Kalita would find herself a sister in this game of pregnancy.
In this game of what?
Pregnancy. It's
What?
the thing that you
No, I don't want
surviving
any of
guys
that.
do. Well, perhaps it is the same as her situation, and you would go on your own vision quest.
What is that what you're talking about, Mason, as we make our way over?
Grant has
Jet
expressed an
actually
interest in you, Sister Delilah.
was about to ask him
Oh.
the same question.
Well, I think she might have expressed some interest in you as well.
I heard that part.
Match made in heavens.
We're matchmaking each other today. And I look over at the noodles bot.
It's perfect. Noodles and I are very close
Noodles.
now.
There's a saucy noodles that came out of that one once. I'm telling you once.
Noodles.
Guess there is a
But I didn't
resemblance
care for
between
it.
noodles and hair.
You'd have beautiful children.
You could trim the noodles.
Noodles.
Oh,
I don't like where this is going.
what? It's like late, right? It's starting to get late.
Yeah, the sun is going down, meaning it's getting darker, though you can't see the sun in the sky for all the activity and how heavily snow-covered clouded it is. But yes, it is getting darker here. You can see that exterior lights turn on in this centralized area and up into stands where the wealthy live. But it is cold. It's getting very cold.
Dugout bar's full. It's busy with a sleeping turf war.
Excellent.
Have to find
Where are we
somewhere
staying?
else.
Also, dog meat might have pooped in one of their rooms or
Wait, I thought we had a
one of their-
place.
It seems that the dugout inn is full up on Minutemen and Children of Adam.
So the mayor said we could stay for free, but there's no like designated area for.
You can stay with everybody else on the flats and boards along the back near the waterfront.
Lovely.
This
That-
place sucks. I hate this place. I hate the mayor. I hate all the people that live up there. Noodlebot, only good goddamn thing so far.
Perhaps you can join us then on our pilgrimage.
No, what pilgrimage? Where you going?
We're heading south, apparently.
Grant, this wouldn't be good for your budding romance.
To go south?
Yes, and you should all join us, and it'll take us away from the winter, the cold, frigid winter in the Commonwealth.
well,
You head south with
I
us
don't know
on
if
our
I'm
Of course
about to
it
go
will.
down there that way, but I might be. It depends on if I need to go that way.
The closer we get to the warmth of Adam's glow, the better.
Why is that?
It will take away the cold of this winter.
I just like gesture to myself in like a way of just like,
This area, it's clearly not. It's not sanctified by Adam. They're trying to remove it from the city. They're trying to purify our water. We cannot stay here much longer. Well, I don't plan on staying here long term. I don't know about the rest of you, but we could stay here for some time. I don't think half of the city is going to last the winter anyway.
Do any of you guys know what a mirage is or a circus?
Ooh.
Oh, no, yeah. A circus. Oh my God, I remember circuses from back before the giant fucking explosions. That's where it was a phenomenal place of
Big top.
elephants. Yeah, big what?
Tops.
Yes, big tops. Lots of big tops. People that did lots of like flips in the airs and
Popcorn.
horrifying creatures known as clowns.
Animals
they came up,
as well.
Exactly, a lot of animals. What was your favorite animal?
I personally enjoyed the elephant. Absolute megafauna.
Me too. That's why you're my bet. He just knocks
Makes
you
sense
like
that you're the one that understands this because I saw a bunch of advertisements of your kind.
I mean, you took it with you. It's a flyer. It's like a poster.
And she pulls out like a flyer.
Is it Good Neighbor?
It is not Good Neighbor. This says Big Top. It seems to be a ghoul-run circus where the ghouls have taken up the kind of freak personalities of the past. In fact, that's what they call themselves. Come see the freaks, except they spell it with a Q. And basically, this advertisement kind of says, like, first show since settling down in the Commonwealth. And you can see it highlights all these performances, including the Swinging Sows, Brawny Bill, the Inked Lady, Madam Atom, Atom, and the ringleader, Johnny Lonnie, with his fierce protectron dressed as a lion.
So
Perhaps I could be a fierce protectron.
Ghoul slaps Grant slaps the paper with like the back of his hand. He's like, if anyone's gonna do a circus right, it's gonna be us. We should go. Wait, we gotta do that train thing still, huh?
You don't have to if you don't want citizenship into Diamond City.
Well, I don't know if I really need to do the train thing.
Why don't we
I don't know if I'm going to stay here.
Might be less of a problem in the morning. Let's just sleep on it.
Where do you plan on going, Khalida?
I'm not sure yet. I gotta figure that out. But not at the night. Nighttime's not good to travel. I've seen some weird creatures out here.
That's just nature.
Things I hadn't seen before.
Well, you came from a giant steel cube under the ground. You haven't seen much.
That's true.
I don't know. Your vault, you might have seen some shit.
Yeah, Grant's making assumptions.
Yeah.
Seen some weird things being spliced together.
Oh, yeah.
So where we're sleeping, there's that place. Good Neighbor. I could probably go there, and I know you guys would be fine too. They ain't gonna be like, oh no, not you.
Good
No,
Neighbor is
I'm
about
fine.
a 20-minute walk from here.
Not
Also,
so bad.
Modiphius, you got some information that they're not letting people in there either.
I think we should just.
But you're the only one who knows that.
No, so yeah, I'll pipe up and be like, the same situation over there as over here. If we step out of these gates, we're not coming back in until we bring at least news of the food, and we're probably not getting into Good Neighbor without probably again food. It's all about food.
So sleeping outside it is.
You can set up camp with everybody else.
Well, it's not any different
It'll
than
do.
it's been for months for me.
Maybe you find a wall.
It'll be
where
cold
you
as ever, but it'll be safe.
maybe you find a wall where Mason can plug in or like maybe recharge for a little bit. And you basically camp with all the other plebeians. The mass amounts of them on these pieces of ply and board that just line this area over the soggy, damp end of the field, which actually dips down into a small pool of water that makes a pond nearby. And you can see off in the distance, off the pond, the radio broadcast. You can see the red light blipping. It must be where they broadcast Diamond City Radio. And you can see it, the water purifier. Off this water, this is the water source right here. And it sits right there on the banks near a small, I hate to call it a boardwalk, but it is a small boardwalk that has a trailer type house attached to it. Must be the person that keeps the water they kept talking about. And it's running, that purifier. You can almost hear it like a generator all night long, Sister Delilah. A constant reminder of blasphemy within throwing distance.
It is quite tempting. You know what? I'm gonna take a look.
All right, let me take y'all over to the Diamond City, actual Diamond City map, the aerial map. I had a feeling this was coming.
I was hoping that she'd go do it.
You know, I have 3 people here who have now GM'd for me.
Yeah,
And every
it was bound to
time
happen.
They place bait.
Okay. So,
and I see the faces. They're like,
know.
Yes, the little carrot.
So all of this kind of out here is all open sleeping camping ground. A lot of it's damp and moist, but you kind of figured that out. This is the radio tower back here, the broadcast tower. And you can see the small trailer here with this kind of dock-like thing that walks out. It kind of zigzags around. It kind of goes off the map there, but you can see it. This is the water purifier machine. And I'm going to see if I can get that on screen for everybody at home. I cannot. I have to zoom out. But yeah, that is what she wrote. What's are you gonna wait for everybody to go to sleep? Do you let them know you want to go check it out, quote unquote?
I'm gonna wait for them to go to sleep.
Okay. Does anybody want to do anything before you go to bed for the night?
Yeah, I was gonna send you a quick message.
Mr.
real
Handy
quick.
doesn't.
Yeah, I had.
It's not like mischievous.
just remind
It's
you,
not,
Mason
I'm not doing
definitely
anything
doesn't sleep.
mischievous, but I just want to throw it your way real quick.
30 minutes left to spare. The messages are coming
Yeah.
in.
I mean, yeah, I'm typing. Anybody
I think I
else
just
go while
sleep.
I'm typing.
Yeah.
You're tired.
I was thinking of
You've
like
been on-
keeping an eye
yeah.
out, but I think I'm just sleeping because I've got fatigue. I'm like, we got a big mission tomorrow. Like, it's not worth it. I'm just gonna sleep.
Yeah. So this map is actually, I believe, from the game itself. It's like a mod where you can zoom out far enough to actually get an aerial view. This is like Fallout 4, and I pieced the 4 corners together of Diamond City. But you can see this is the noodle stand here in the middle. Here's the stand, and y'all are out here camping somewhere. Anybody else want to do anything before, say, night falls, Mason plugs up, Mortimer gets maybe some really good needed sleep, bless his heart.
He just keeps watch.
I sent it. It's completely useless, but I just think it's very in character.
I think I'll have Dogmeat sniff the boot a bunch and see if he can get the scent.
Okay. I will do so Dogmeat spends the evening kind of gently gnawing and nose deep in this shoe, trying to like pick up the next scent for the morning. And he will have a very good idea of maybe which direction to go. It's very clearly not inside of here. Your husband clearly came and went from Diamond City, but that's pretty standard for anybody that visits the Commonwealth. This is like the biggest stop through point that you're going to find, and the safest.
Yeah.
But his path may have taken him who knows, a variety of other places. Mathas, I will do you one better.
Just something like that. Just something silly.
Everybody kind of begins to go to sleep. And as you come in, it is quiet in the dugout again.
Just looking for a drink or something.
And with a luck point, you can actually declare something in the scene.
Not declare that event happens.
So this event, we'll say it's Vadim, the older brother is standing there, and he is in an altercation with Shoeshine Parker. You overhear it happening. And Shoeshine Parker said, "You were family, Vadim. You promised me you would get them out of here, and you have yet to do so. They're still sleeping in these beds." And you can tell that they're kind of in the mix. And he's like, "Trust me, I'd rather have a ghoul than have a bunch of Minutemen in here." He's like, "But what do you want me to do about it? They have firepower, and they're paying customers." And she's like, "I don't care what you have to do, Vadim. Make it look like it was their fault. All they have to do is get in one more fight, right? Isn't that what you said? One more fight? Just make them fight, Vadim, and get them out of here." And she slaps a whole bunch of caps on the table. And she's like, "Let me remind you who we're working for, Vadim. When the day of division comes, you want to make sure you're on the right side of the line." And she walks away, none the wiser that Grant has been kind of creeping in the doorway to just come get a drink. And as she walks off, you see Vadim, almost with hesitation, rake that large amount of caps into his pocket, accepting such a challenge. He seems tired when you arrive, and he kind of wipes it down, and he says, "All I got left's beer."
So, rather have a ghoul in here than any of those guys. What do I need to do?
Oh, he says, "You heard all of that?" He says,
Oh, I
"Well,
just heard the ghoul part. I mean,
He
here's
says-
perk up.
you figure out a way to make it look like the Minutemen started a fight, I'll kick them out. And you can have all the rooms for free.
Is there a are there sisters in the middle room or whatever still?
So there are basically 3 rooms on the upper floors of either side of the dugout. 3 on the left and 3 on the right. The 3 on the left belong to the Children of Adam. The 3 on the right belong to the Minutemen.
Okay, gotcha.
So they're kind of on opposite sides of the hotel in essence. He says, or you know what? You could get, the real pain out of my side and figure out how to get them to start a fight, and I can kick their asses out. He's like, better yet, prove that they're doing something they ain't supposed to, and Diamond City will kick them out. The mayor don't like them anyhow.
That last one's probably gonna be a lot harder.
He says, you took my offer. He says, until then, I gotta tell you what I tell my brother, which is they're good paying customers. I can't kick them out. They don't mean any harm. They just don't get along, and they're using my dugout as ground zero. Oh, I got a headache. And he slides you a beer.
Yeah, I look at the beer, I'm like, hang on to that. Let me just see if I can get them to figure out their problems. And I'll like stroll upstairs to the rooms.
Which side are you going to? The Children
I want
of
to go to
Adam?
the Minutemen side.
Okay. When you get up to the Minutemen side, you see 2 of the room doors standing open. They're empty. And the center room, they've convened and they're playing cards on the bed together.
Sure. Can I walk in?
You sure can. The door's like kind of cracked. You can hear them like playing or whatever. One of them wins. They're like, oh, fuck you, man. You win every fucking time. But you could knock or whatever you want. It's not closed.
No, I'm going to do something absurd.
Oh, God.
I'm going to walk over to them and I'm just going to say, a message from the Cult of the Atom people. Yeah, praise the Atom. You know what I mean? And I'll just like unzip and I start pissing on their game and embrace the flow of the glow and just fucking start pissing all over them.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm going to have you make a roll.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my luck for whatever I need to do to get
so
out of this
let's just start with the you know what? Can you, here's the question. Can you just declare
whatever you need.
All right, here's what I'm gonna let you do. This is a ridiculous roll. You are going to make a speech check, but instead of using your charisma, you will use your luck, which is a 10. Okay, so you're going to spend a luck, and then you get to use your luck as the attribute for the skill test.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Which should make this very easy for you to achieve. Do you want to spend
my
any
speech is pretty high too, though. So like, my speech is like 9.
And your luck is 10, so at least
10.
you get.
Those are my 2 stats. It's all.
I would use the 10 and at least bump it by 1.
I'm gonna. So how do I do that in place of
Great. So
charisma?
on your character sheet, in the top left-hand corner, there are 2 tiny blue buttons. One of them has a D20 symbol. One has a little face, man face. The D20 one allows you to put in a custom roll. So every roll is bare minimum 2 D20. So make sure it says 2 D20, and then you can choose the setup.
Luck, skill, and then skill is speech.
It's speech, correct.
Got it.
Oh yeah.
This is how Grant survives.
The cards that they're playing on, the P hits it and it begins splashing on them because it's like hitting the cards with such force.
Yep.
And the
minute they look pissed, it's time for me to get out.
And and now I need you to make a I think it's it's really an agility check. I'll take a strength check. I'll take a stealth check, whichever.
I'm going to spend a luck point and use a luck check.
You got to spend it after. Luck is. Oh, you want to make it.
I'm just going to replace it. I want to replace it.
You want to replace it with luck.
And it's what one is it? Athletics.
Luck. I would say athletics for this, just to get the hell out of here before they get to you.
God
damn it.
Grant always does this.
Okay,
now I get the fuck out. They hopefully fight. I wait.
So I will tell you this: you have gained 1 action point, if you can believe that, in the midst of all of this. You really only needed 1 for the first success because pissing on them, it does not take a lot. That's enough to really upset them.
It's a message from
it was
the
2 to get away.
Adam.
So you are going to go from 4 to 5 AP for these actions.
Nice.
Holy crap. Off you go. You basically jump the railing down to the first floor and tear ass out of this place.
I'll look back to the guy and I'll be like, I'll be back in 10 minutes. And leave.
He's chugging the beer you left behind. And as you leave, it is just they come out and he goes, where did he go? And Vadim's like sucking down this beer and he kind of shrugs. And one of the Children of Adam opens their door. Maybe they're going to the bathroom or to brush their teeth or to just say goodnight to their fellow Adamite. But they become target practice, and one of them fires off a shot, and that is all you hear.
That's all I need to hear.
As you run back into
I'm gonna go
the
back to them,
night.
and I'm just gonna take my time. I'm gonna walk back to the party.
Great.
Hang out a little bit. Tell them, oh, by the way, I got something to show you. And by the time we get back there, hopefully the rooms are clear.
So as you're having a nice stroll, everybody else is settling down for the evening, getting rest. Delilah, you see it as the perfect time. One of you's already snuck off. You might as well do it while there are less eyes watching you. And as everyone settles in for a very cold, snuggly night on the plywood, you sneak over to this machine. Now, are you going to go all the way in? Do you want to because this boardwalk comes out a little ways and kind of zigzags over to this. There is quite a bit of water, frozen water. It is ice. You could try to take it as ice if you wanted to.
And they said that there was like a person, like, are they like manning this?
So it seems
It's like a trailer.
This trailer right here, this repurposed like little trailer is definitely the stand. It's built on stilts just over the water, and you have to pass it to actually access the main entrance to the docks to the. So it's just a watch station. It's probably his house too, where he works from. And you can see there's all kind of machinery out front and bits and bobs and junk pieces. The water may not purifier may not be the only thing that is manned by this person.
Okay.
Did Delilah like lay down with everyone and then get back up?
She probably sat on her little plank and did a bit of reading. She didn't like lay down to go to bed at any point. She sat and rested for a minute, and then she got up. So
I think Mason might have some curiosities here.
Ooh, did she sneak though? Like sneak away?
Did you,
so
yeah, did you?
maybe
Why would
Mason
roll
didn't
a
see
proper
you.
Sneak?
I would say she's not being particularly stealthy. She kind of just made her way up. So I'm not opposed if Mason just saw this happen.
She seems to be taking a lovely stroll by the water's edge at midnight.
And everyone else seems, I mean, despite the fact that Grant's not there, Kalita is fine and Mortimer is he's
I imagine
good.
Mortimer is maybe getting much needed rest.
Mortimer's out.
But
I think like
maybe.
Mortimer was like, I could try and do something about this filter, like I don't want to turn it off, but I maybe want to make it look like it's turned off. But also, if I just sleep, this problem might solve itself, not in the best way, but in a certain way.
Okay.
And I get a full night's sleep, so that's what I do. I'm sleeping.
If he sees those two fine and like dog meat's there, I know that Kalita's okay. And I haven't seen Grant yet. I think this is an opportunity for him to live the alter ego.
Oh no! Do you put on your mask?
Yes.
Tell everybody what we see you do in the shadowy darkness as you watch Sister Delilah step away.
Mason undoes a side compartment and draws forth a bandit mask. Think like Zorro. And he straps it over the metal part, which clearly the ocular eyes don't even have them.
The eyes are still up
right?
here, yeah.
But it's under the newsy cap and above the mustache. And you just hear like a mutterance of,
It's time for crying.
I think I think Grant, I know he's not there, but at this point he's probably mumbled to himself, he's going to play cops and robbers.
Yeah,
again.
he does
Like
his
he just
yeah.
often like so cute.
A sixth sense. As
Mason probably
make a stroll back.
moves in the same way that he's seen in his comic that he's read about Savoy. So since he can't like hijink tiptoe in the way they do in the comics, he probably like low and high powers his thruster, so he kind of floats up and down like he's sneaking.
Yeah, the thruster goes from kind of big to kind of shrinks a little bit, so you have a little bit more control, and you shrink to the ground. And I imagine your bulbous spherical body kind of rounds corners in just the right way, as if somebody were like sneaking, but not, And you begin to follow. Now, the funny thing is there are very few buildings the farther out you actually get. The closer you get to this location, I'm gonna zoom in here some. And it would become harder for you to not be seen. But Sister Delilah, unless you're like properly stealthing, and you're welcome to roll a proper stealth if you would like.
Yeah, I think, well, I'm not immediate. I think once I get closer to this trailer, I'm going to start stealthing.
Okay.
But in this moment, heading toward that in that direction, I'm not necessarily super stealthy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so as you
Gotta
kind of
save
walk
myself.
over, you see there is a single light on in this this little trailer, and there is some movement. There's clearly a single person kind of bobbing about inside. But again, everything seems drowned out by this blasphemous sound coming from this water purifier.
Yes, so I would like to see if I can get past the trailer and quietly head over to the purifier.
Okay, now you can make a stealth.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Do I
no,
need anything as well?
I dare not.
If you want to properly stealth and not just play pretend, then yes, you are going to want to roll a stealth. Okay, you got a single success. You're welcome to use a luck to re-roll that other dice if you'd like.
I think I might.
And don't forget,
Yeah.
you have 5 AP in the pool right now.
I feel bad using our group pool on poisoning our water supply. Oh no. Okay, I only got 1 success.
Okay, Mason.
I'm trying to sneak. Yeah, I'll use an action point.
Okay.
Mason doesn't feel bad. He's playing a greedy character right now, so of course he's going to use an action point. Ooh.
Oh.
Pretty good.
Oh, damn, 2
Sneaky,
successes.
sneaky robot.
So you're significant, Delilah, you have no idea you're being followed. You're really focused, especially with the drowning out of this just like noise. You're really focused on what you're doing. But the good news is you are not seen by the person in the trailer, just by Mason. And you watch as she kind of squats as you go under the window. If you do peep in, Delilah, you see a young boy. Maybe early teens, 12-ish.
This is who they were worried about?
And he kind of like jumps off of his sofa and he's like, yeah! Yeah! And he's like playing with himself, kind of karate chopping himself in the mirror. And he's like, nobody gets at the water purifier. Not, well, I'm on. Damn, let me try that again. He goes back over to the couch and like does it again as if he's preparing for a fight or to have to protect this water purifier. He is none the wiser you're sneaking past.
This is puzzling to Delilah as to why they were so worried about a child. But nonetheless, she continues.
And as you kind of keep going, you can, as you two.
He's being tailed by gentleman thief and master of larceny.
Mason?
You don't see me. I'm not here.
All
What
you
is
see are like
that?
red eyes.
What is that on your thing? What do you have on your...
There is no Mason here, simply Savoy, gentleman thief and master of larceny.
Savoy?
Savoy. Yes.
I see. Is this something that you were programmed to do? Take on a persona or something I'm trying to figure it out.
What is to figure out? I, too, much like yourself, am committing a perilous act, one that might land us in a whale of trouble.
Now hold on. I am not committing a heinous act. I'm helping.
Of course.
Say, what was your name again? What was it?
Savoy.
Okay, let me write this down. Savoy. Savoy, you don't walk, you float, right?
I sneak, creepily so, like a panther in the night.
Perhaps you would be better at this. You see that supply over there? See, there is water. I mean, it's icy water. I was thinking about walking across it, but it's a bit risky, if there's one area of ice I might fall in. But you can just directly go. You don't even have to go on the boardwalk. You can just float your way across the water here and just shut off that purifier.
I could, but there's nary a place to disguise myself, and what would that serve Savoy for?
You said you were here to do, I don't know.
Crime. That is correct.
Well, what if, in your eyes, would you consider this a crime?
What are the consequences of such an event?
Well, there's clearly somebody here in this trailer guarding it. You're doing an act against them, and
Am I here to purloin? Perhaps you'd admire my ability to unshut a sticky situation.
all right, you are being very confusing. Perhaps I just do this myself.
You have a few options. It does seem like he's down to clown. Though you might have to sell it to him the right way. How this is possible, I don't know, but you've not been caught yet. This kid still hasn't noticed the two of you out here having this fucking conversation. Because the only time he's capable of whispering is in this alter ego. And so, you're basically right here on the cusp of the boardwalk. Do you kind of both walk out on it, and you're going to try to get, your goal is to make it to the machine, correct? Okay.
Yes.
No problems. It's a little bit harder to stay quiet. Your feet clatter a little bit and they get a little wet, as this is like a floating dock almost in a way. And when you get out there, you can see this machine and it's just sputtering and it kind of shakes as it is like purifying the water from underneath it.
Is there like a function of power that I could power it down?
There are power lines. There is like a way it's being powered. It seems to be being powered from some kind of generator over like across the water by his homestead. But Mason, there is like a front-facing panel that has a lock, a keyhole lock on it. Like it's locked tight.
Oh, the challenge presents itself.
Do you think you could get this?
I know I could get this. Allow Savoy find his way through this.
What would you like me to roll?
It will be a basic lockpick skill. You need it.
Let's go.
You needed 2.
Let's see. Where are we at action point wise? We're at 3 right now. 4.
You're sitting at 5.
I said at 5.
Yeah, you could take. You could spend one if you wanted and add
I will.
to the pool. Okay.
I will take an action point, please.
Spent it is. 2 successes. Mason, what is it? What does Sister Delilah see as you liberate this lock?
He probably draws forth his like steel comb that he's used that normally sits in like a small, very dated jar of barbicide, but he bends a single tong out and he just kind of uses his scissor hand to draw forth and find just the right part of the tumbler to lift, and then as he pulls away, it pulls the cage of the door open.
And as it opens,
right?
it kind of eeks a little bit, and as it swings open, you can see the chaotic mess that is the internal design of this machination. It's clearly designed by a 13-year-old. Some would consider it complete genius, and others would consider it a cable nightmare. Take your choice, Sister Delilah.
Depending on how loud this would be, I was thinking of taking my blessed weapon, divine weapon of Gamma Gun, the light of Adam itself, to destroy the insides of this device. But if I feel like it's going to be a little loud and might, it might catch the attention of the kid, It
might. I mean, it is a Gamma Gun, but the question is, are you making a statement? What is it? What are you?
I want to make a statement.
Okay.
Honestly, I want to make a statement.
Okay.
This is about Adam.
Delilah, now that Savoy has found his way through this pittance of a lock, my work here is done. If you need me, look for the Panther in the Night.
And you see, like, the red
It's
glow.
like, I'm out
like,
before you get in trouble.
and you stand back with this Gamma Gun. For those of you that don't know, a Gamma Gun is a special kind of weapon. It does not shoot regular rounds. Here, I will give you a peep ski. It's a rather bulky weapon, in fact, made of a variety of basic latches and triggers, but the most important part is that it shoots radiation. Not ammo or energy of any kind. And you pull this, maybe hidden underneath your cloak that you wear, and you aim it. I'd like you to take a shot with your gamma gun. I'd like to see maybe how much damage we end up doing here, and we'll be wrapping.
Yes.
With a little bit of unexpected things.
Take a shot. Yes.
So if you scroll down to your weapons listing, you should just be able to click your gamma gun.
There we go.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, gamma gun. Let's go.
Okay. Wow. Okay, 2 successes because that's a your energy weapon. Is it a tagged skill?
Oh, yes, it is a tagged skill.
So
yes.
With a tagged skill, everyone at home, what that means is instead of a 1, you actually get the full range up to what it's tagged as, which I think is 4 for you, which means 1 to 4 qualifies as a critical success. So this single success just turned into 2 successes on the spot. And as if Adam has spoken to you, you can hear the last son of Adam's words, that propaganda from the radio station earlier in your head, and you hold this gamma gun out as if it is meant to be. This is just the next step in your pilgrimage, and you let it fire, and as it does, it explodes. The machine, the water purifier, to pieces. It is, in fact, loud. But not in a, like, fiery explosion kind of way, in an electrical explosion, like when a power box is struck by lightning, almost. And, silence falls over Diamond City, the sound of this massive machine no longer churning and burning, and people sit up and gasp. And somewhere from across Diamond City run out 2 children of Adam. Shoeshine, Sister Shoeshine, comes running out, and she says, "Behold!" And from this machine now is kind of this green, glowing light. It's kind of radiated the rest of this machinery from how powerful a critical success was. And she says, "Behold, Adam has chosen the way for Diamond City. Tonight, the Minutemen are thrown from the dugout inn for violence against the children of Adam. And tonight, Adam shows us his true will." And she speaks in front of a crowd of people who are awakened and kind of groggy and trying to figure it out. People in the stands look down at all of you. And there on the docks is Sister Delilah, maybe the gun put away now, but standing in front of this machine, letting off a green embering glow, poisoning the water supply of Diamond City. And she says, "So be it. Diamond City has been chosen." And the people of the town, some of them praise Adam's glow, raise their hands, others do not. And all of you, Mortimer, Puppers, Kalita, Mason, all of you witness. And you come back just in time for the explosion, I would say. Just in time, Grant, for it to go kaboom. Yep.
When she starts babbling, Grant's probably like, "Excellent. Hey, guys, we should head to the hotel."
Yep.
Got a surprise.
We'll find out next week what they're going to do. I've never had anybody actually choose to ruin Diamond City before. And to kick them, I've never had anybody choose to kick the Minutemen out. That's all very, very new. This is great.
Guess who you put in this place?
Yeah. And to anybody instigate the crowd to go after the train stuff on their own?
Oh, don't wait. That will come back to bite y'all in the ass next week. Next week on Fallout Winter Edit.
God.
Hey, look, we might still go to the train.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it could still happen.
I might die.
Fuck
Yeah.
Diamond City.
Maybe. Well, gang, you know what? There's some fresh faces we haven't had here on this channel before, so we should do a round robin. So we'll go to my left and work our way down. Bub, you're up first. Tell folks who you are.
Hi guys, I'm Bub. BubTalks. I played Mason today. I hope that you like my rendition of Mr. Handy. Mason, the wonderful barber bot. You guys can find me everywhere as BubTalks, doing a lot of things, a lot of tabletop stuff, pretending and making voices loud. So just search BubTalks everywhere and you can find me.
Seems like Mr. Handy is like one of the favorites so
well,
far from reading the chat.
Kalita, it is your Maggie. Tell us who you are.
Hi, this is Lucy.
Hi, Lucy.
I'm Margaret. You can find me at Margaret Krohn in all of the places. I do things on the internet. I play a lot of tabletop and a lot with these wonderful folks on various channels. So follow me if you want to hear about that. And I make games and video games for a living. I'm currently working on a project called Ashes of Creation, and you can find it at Ashes of Creation in all of the places.
Mathas. Mike,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. Rebrand. Mike.
Oh, it doesn't fucking matter. You can find me, if you look for Chilluminati Podcast.
Even we can't.
Yeah, it doesn't matter anymore. I gave up a long time ago. Chilluminati Podcast, you can find me there pretty much everywhere. That's pretty much my main thing. And then I'm here every Saturday with all these wonderful folks. So that's it.
Beb.
And it is me. I'm Bentham. I do Let's Plays, that kind of thing, and I run the TTRP channel Roll For It with Maggie. Most recently on my own channel, which is Mangled Pork, because reasons. I was playing some Factorio after a very long break from it. I came back and did I'm doing a fully modded run. So all the heresy for me. There's iron chests as well in the game. It's I'm breaking all my rules. But yeah, it just happens today is my 10th year anniversary of being a content creator, which makes
Oh,
me
yay! Thanks for spending it
Welcome
with
to the
us.
Years.
Welcome to the Decade Plus Club.
That's cool, dude.
I don't like it.
Yeah,
I don't like it. I'm not a fan, but that's
They
me.
Awesome. And last but certainly not least, the chaotic lady herself. And I do not mean Sister Delilah.
We love it.
Tracy,
Yeah.
I just honestly find it hilarious that we have Mathas, who's run games for me, Bub, who's run games for me, now Dot, who's run games for me, and they all have the same experience of like, you know what?
He's a
There's
little
this
chaos gremlin.
I know. There's
Yeah,
like,
But here's the thing.
you
The
just-
first time I ran for you, I basically tried to kill your character instantly. I was like, let me suffocate you alive. First scene.
Yes.
So maybe it's payback a little bit.
You guys,
Yes.
you and Josh are a dangerous duo of chaos. Because Josh is the same way. For multiple characters, not a single one hasn't not chosen chaos if the
And
opportunity
death.
is there.
It's true.
And death, yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Sister Delilah might die. I don't know. We'll see, everybody. But I enjoy, the minute I knew we were gonna play the Winter of Adam, Children, I knew I had to play a freaking Child of Adam.
When
Like,
Tracy messaged me, I was like, of course you went.
I was like, when we got together and Tracy said
that.
that's what she was playing, I was like, so you're bringing your Warhammer character over here? Is that basically what's
Yes.
happening?
Yes. If you give me a super religious, crazy organization, I will play in that. I will play
Well,
that.
they do not get. I mean, unless we're going to talk about like maybe Wayland Yutani. I said that the other night. We're looking at, the Children of Adam are pretty rough in the Fallout world right about now. So they're desperate, that's for sure.
Yep. So anyway, that was very fun. Thanks everybody. But you can find me, Tracy, aka Miss Magitek, at Magi RPG. That's me in chat. When you see me chatting, that's not Miss Magitek, it's Magi RPG. I play a lot of games over there with my friends. This Tuesday, we're wrapping up a Girl by Moonlight campaign, which is the Magical Girls version of the Forged in the Dark system, like Blades in the Dark, but it's Magical Girls. And if you like a darker Magical Girls story, because it's like more like the anime Madoka Magica, which is like very dark. If you've watched it, we're not doing like the Sailor Moon version. We're doing like the dark Magical Girls version. So yeah, that's what we're doing. And then of course, on Mondays on Bub's channel,
Yeah.
we got this Monday. We should be back.
She's not magical anymore. She's lost her.
I was a magical girl. I was a magical girl paladin, and I lost my powers and connection with my god, because that seems to happen
You
a
got
lot.
it back
to me,
though. It's
you know?
fine, and you have a big sword.
Yes,
So.
yeah, I have a cool sword. We'll see. But yeah, that's me and where you can find me. And what about you, Dot? We didn't do a Dot
Thanks
plug.
for asking, Tracy. No,
Sorry, we pooped and peed on your NPCs, but
literally in one game. No, it's great. It's fine. I love this crew, and this is why I made the suggestion we do this. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I am Dot. You can find me here over at Cobalt Press pretty much the rest of the time, and of course with our podcast Pod by Night. But I will say I did write on this dope thing.
Yeah.
So you should check it out. You can go order your copy over on Modiphius's website. and we probably won't get to it, but I did intro a lot of the stuff I wrote. So all the new settlements I mentioned. There are a couple I didn't get to, but y'all are like getting slow dripped the best parts of what could be to come. And we'll be back next week to find out if they're even going to fuck with this train job at all, or are they just going to move on?
Or go to the circus.
Who knows? Yeah, there you can go to the circus. They might go gambling. There's a boat involved, maybe somehow with some Minutemen. So who knows?
Fallout. You gave us a main quest, and we decided, fuck it.
No, fuck it. Yeah, exactly.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Which is fine because literally I wrote it that we wrote it that way. Where the first whole like chapter is just like side quests, so the players can get it out of their system and level up before the main story. So it's fine. Good news is I wrote it. I'm prepped. So whichever way y'all go, that is the way that we will go, and we will see where they end up next week. Though I did not peeing on the Minutemen. That was new. That was unprepared for.
That was epic. All of our faces were like not expecting that. Like we're expecting Grant to do something crazy, but
we pooped on the doorstep to the Children of Adam, and we peed on the card game of the Minutemen. I don't know if it gets more Fallout than that. Yeah.
I was trying to like on the
we're
moment.
being
We'll
even
talk
on
about it
both
in the after
sides.
show. We'll talk about it in the after show.
Yeah, we're gonna go do an after show. I raise my Nuka-Cola to all of you, and we will see you next week.
And hopefully the Amazon series is sick. We'll
find out.
We'll
Cheers.
see.
We'll be back to talk about it. We are going to go do an after show. I'll give all the nitty gritty details on lore in the after show. So if you want that, Patreon, do the thing. If you don't want that, that's cool. Hit Discord. Who knows what I might tell you there. Until then, we'll see y'all next week. Bye bye.